You're muted.
Yeah, I'm muted. I always forget to take the loop off. That was funny. Yeah, but this is a kind of, it's not really impromptu. We're supposed to be doing this, but we're a little
Right,
impromptu
right.
on it. But intro. Welcome to K to Z Movies. He's
Hey,
K,
hey.
I'm Z,
Yep.
and this is where we rank the movies that we saw in a month. So it's a once a month stream where we just talk about all the films that we saw in that month of that year. And then we'll also talk about the movies that we also caught up a little bit, just have a discussion and have your opinions on that. So I'm really, really excited because this was like a stacked month. There were movies that I missed out on, like The Strangers Chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to see. I saw TV Glow, and I also
Yeah.
didn't get to see a Violent Nature.
Yep.
And there's other stuff probably I didn't get to see as well. But we saw a good chunk of movies when I was compiling the list. So I'm super,
Yep.
super excited to get into that. And there's some movies that you saw that you're gonna sell me on and tell me why it should be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And there's movies that I saw that you didn't see. So that's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've missed, like, in terms of the volume of movies in a given month, I feel like I've missed the most movies this month. I also didn't see,
Yeah,
I saw the TV Glow or Strangers Part 1 or the other one that you
a, vi-
literally
a
just,
violent
A Violent
violent
Nature.
nature.
Like, yeah, I missed all that. And I think part of it was, honestly, I just didn't feel like seeing them. Other than I saw the TV Glow. That was one I definitely wanted to see. Circumstances prevented that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like once I heard that I saw the TV Glow was like just god awful from literally everybody who I talked to, everybody who I have spoken to says this movie is god awful. That diminished my motivation to go see it. So yeah, so there was that, and then but I really did want to go see. I saw the TV Glow, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out to see it. But we did get a chance to see some other movies this
The big
month.
ones.
That yeah, the big ones, and a lot of them delivered. So,
Yeah.
or if not all of them delivered. So yeah, we got some good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, and if you guys are not familiar on how we do the list, I'll show you real quick. Let me know if it's not zoomed in enough. But
Hmm.
we don't do it as like an S tier, A tier thing. We do it IMAX, which means like this movie deserves to go on the biggest screen with the biggest quality possible. So not even if a movie is great, it don't deserve IMAX all the time.
Right.
Full price, meaning like go pay full money. This is worth seeing at any time because it's something that you should go see in theaters. Matinee is like, maybe it's a good movie. It might even be a great movie, but it's something that you should see on discount because there's some cheapness to it, or
Hmm.
maybe it's a derivative of something. Those kind of things where that you gotta kind of worry about when watching a movie, or it might not be your thing, so you don't want to pay full price for it because it's something that you not
Correct.
used to. And stream/rental, I only put stream, so like wait till it hits streaming, or if you're the type of person that doesn't do streaming services, rent it when it gets on rental.
Yep. Yep.
And obviously, skip is like don't even go see this movie. It's what's the word is this?
It's trash.
I love that. I love that little clip because it's like it's so earnest. It's like it's trash.
Shit. So overall, how did you feel about this month of movies before we start ranking them?
I honestly had a really good month of the movies I did see. I
Yeah.
want to say 90% of them I really enjoyed. Some of them are going to hit that IMAX. I don't think I have a single skip this month. But I will say that, there are some that do hit some of the lower ranks, but for the most part, it's been a really good month for movies, like in general. So, what about
Yeah.
you? Like, how did you feel overall about this month's movies?
I had such a good time in the theaters, and just at home as well, watching some of these things at home. I didn't
Hmm.
watch all this stuff in theaters.
Right,
There is
right.
a movie on here that I love, and it's one of my top 10 favorite movies of the year so far that I wish I saw in theaters.
I think we're seeing it's talking about the same one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just like it's so crazy that this month the box office was so bad for so
yeah,
many
right.
movies.
For
We
May.
for May, which is like the beginning of the summer season. We got some action movies. We got a couple action movies.
Hmm.
Some really great looking movies, some fun movies, some movies with a lot of comedy in it, and people just didn't go out to see it. And I was like, I had so much fun. This was the month to do it because I think
Right.
even though I didn't hate the beginning of the month as much as maybe like Kenny did, because he had a lot of stinkers he felt like he saw. They weren't like, oh my god, run to the theater films. You know what I'm saying? Like movies that I even liked. That I was like, oh, this was really good. It's like I could have waited. You know what I mean? So this one,
we
I was
also
like,
saw one that I didn't even remember like came out this month. I thought, remember the one we were talking about, the one I thought came out months ago. But it came out the beginning of this month. I was like, what?
So much was happening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that is crazy. It's been a crazy month, and I'm excited to talk about it. Hey, Jay Polon, I'm happy you're doing great. Let me see. Okay, you're one of the 60% that voted in the poll. Hit that like button, people. Appreciate that.
Yep.
Congrats again. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yo, I gotta give you your flowers. Congratulations on hitting that 1K, that 1,000 subscribers. Dude,
That,
you
man.
deserve it, number
Thank
one.
you.
And I'm super proud of you. I don't know if that's weird to say, but like I'm like super proud of you, man. And I like the fact that we didn't start our journey together, but I kind of hitched my ride like in the middle of your journey. And the fact that we're both at 1K now, we could just like relax. Yeah, man. That's the big one, dude. I'm
we could
so
just focus on other things. Yeah, man. It's a good feeling, especially when you see your peers kind of moving on up, the people who you like kind of look up to that's in their same range, hitting that goal. You're like, I gotta get there, man. I gotta get there. Like obviously, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme. We're still cool, but I still want to be around where you guys are. So shout out to Spoiler Kings, Sully, Zach M. All those guys, man, just rooting for me at all times, and everybody else too, like TJ and CC and all the great people in the community.
TJ hit 400 today. Excited for that today. Dude, man.
Dave's about to hit 600. Luke Ponto just hit 600.
Congratulations, Luke.
Yeah, I'm loving the progress everyone is getting. Kiara, who's new to our circle, she's getting close to 100. I'm really excited for her to hit that milestone so she can just start using the community tab and live stream and all that stuff. I'm happy.
They're still making you wait to use the community tab.
I think when you get 100.
I didn't know that. Wow. But she's on her way, man. She's definitely a light in this community, and I'm super excited for her.
Yeah, man. He said, welcome in, people. Appreciate that. Hey, DJ with the first super chat. Appreciate you, man. Can't hang today, but wanted to say, hey, guys. Appreciate you, man. Anything, whatever you're doing, have the most fun you can.
Yeah.
Hell, you too. Happy. We were just talking about her.
Sup?
Happy to see you still have 1K subscribers. She was talking about that. She said, you need to get some padding before we celebrate. Right? You know? The haters come in and unsub. No turning back. Yeah, there's no turning back now. I'm here.
Yep.
All I have to work on is watch hours now, and they'll be fully monetized.
And you're only less than 400 away from that.
Yeah, I'm like 300 something away.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Matt Film Show, what's up, man? How are you doing?
What's up, Matt?
He said, hey, what's up? Going Furiosa, Garfield. Oh, Garfield's another film this month that I didn't get to check out.
See that? Yeah.
Oh my God. Planet
Apes. To do better.
Yeah. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Fall Guys. I didn't see. There's like movies that came out streaming each week. I didn't see Atlas. I know that wasn't great, but it was came out.
I wasn't necessarily planning to see it.
He said Fall Guys are his favorite films of May. Nice. Those are all solid films, man. Even though I haven't seen Garfield, but it got a lot of bad rep when it like that initial release. But I'm now seeing people saying, it's really actually not that bad. So
yeah, TJ likes it as well as Dave show. He likes it as well.
I heard Luke Ponto also said it wasn't bad, and Gavin, some streamers. I forgot what his channel name is. Yeah, but Gavin, he also said it wasn't bad. I just watched his review and commented.
Nice.
Congrats to everyone hitting the goals. Progress for days. Facts. That's all it is. You just got to make sure you hit that progress.
Yep. 100%.
Hey, Justice Williams, what's up, man? He always comments on my ranking videos, so it's cool to see you in a live stream.
What's up, dude?
He said, best Furiosa, worst Tarot. He said, I felt bad for crapping on Imaginary Nights when after this disaster. Interesting.
That is,
I take.
Yeah. I don't know which one because that was like, I was just talking to TJ today about Night Swim and just talking to him about the fact that it was the first movie I saw this year, the first week of the year, I think. and I was just excited to be back in the theater because that Christmas weekend lull was real. And I think I rated that movie like 3.5 stars, and it took less than a week for me to be like that. I rated that movie far too high. So yeah, but I don't know if I like Tarot more or if I like Night Swim more. That's an interesting question.
That's interesting. She's going to easily go up the subs. Yep, Kiara
Yep,
is.
100%.
Oh no, I'm wrong. She said she can use a community tab.
Okay.
So it's not that.
Cool.
Oh, Jay Polon, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Oh man, 1K
That's
to
awesome.
the moon. Yeah, and collective movie, man. You guys,
hey,
bless me. Appreciate that a lot. I know for some reason they don't show the stickers on StreamYards, but I have the YouTube thing pull up so I can see it over here.
That's something that I noticed too.
Hey Zach and Kenny Sparks. Hey collective movie, man.
What's
Appreciate
up,
you
collector?
being in here. We also got 80s kids from the 90s.
Hey, what's up, 80s kid?
I feel like he just hit a goal too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, congratulations on 1K. Appreciate you. He said, I just looked at my YouTube. My viewership is going down. I don't understand why. I just put a video out. It happens, man. Look, I just hit 1K and I just put out all these videos, and my metrics say all my metrics are down right now. So sometimes, things happen. Just gotta keep trucking along.
80s kids G.I. Joe classified video hit 450 views.
Nice.
And that's awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. Tarot was not that bad. It was entertaining to watch. We're gonna talk about that. I know we feel a little different on it sometimes. But the first film we're going to talk about is a film that a lot of people probably didn't see. A film that a lot of people probably skipped because of the subject matter in the trailer, and that's going to be Turtles All the Way Down. I spelled all wrong. How? I don't know.
It's all good, man. When you do, what I've learned, man, when you're doing stuff live, it's hard to do things with everybody watching. I used to judge people who used to like have trouble like reading when they were like doing like that's not what that says. And then I started reading things live. I was like, oh, I need to have grace. I'd be messing up. Yeah, it's hard, man.
It's hard. Yeah, you get jitters. You sometimes you can't see shit like me. It's hard.
Yeah,
I commend the people like Grace Randolph and what's homeboy and John Campia, and all those guys that do it and it like off on a hitch, like they don't get no problems. Daily, yeah.
That might be the reason why they're so good at it because they do it daily.
Practice,
repetitions. Yep,
repetition helps. So, tell me how you feel about Turtles All the Way Down.
This movie, man.
Yeah,
this movie, Turtles All the Way Down was. Actually an emotional experience for me. There's a scene in the movie which I won't spoil at all. There's a scene in the movie where the two main characters, Isabella Marcid and Cree.
I'm gonna Google it right now. Yeah, Isabella Mercad, I think it's
Mercad. And Cree Cadario Cacino. Like they're both their characters. They're best friends. They're youthdom. They're in high school. One is super OCD, and she's germaphobe. She's always concerned about germs and stuff like that. And I think that she might be ADHD as well. She has a lot of she has mental health. She's on the spectrum of some sort, right? And her best friend seems to be a normie. You know what I mean? Seems to be a neuro. What is it called? Because I know I'm
neurodivergent when you have
neurotypical
spectrum. Normotypical,
yeah. So her friend is a neurotypical, and the argument that they have in the car, like it resonated with me so much because on one end, it's like the neurotypical person is like, I can't help the person that I am. Like there's certain things about me that are just difficult, and because of that, I tend to look inward, and I feel like everything is crashing in on me. And the friend is like, Kree's character, she's like, it's hard. I know that you have problems, but it's really hard to be in relationship with you because everything ends up being about you. Everything ends up being like about the struggles that you're going through. And meanwhile, you don't know the name of my cat. And we've been friends since like 7th grade. And it's stuff like that really resonated with me because I have ADHD. I got mental health. You know what I'm saying? It's all over the place. Depression and all that good stuff, right? Good stuff. But but that moment in the movie like really I was already sold on the movie before that because the movie's fantastic. But that moment really resonated with me, and I gave this movie like 5 stars on my letterbox. I tried to review it last night, but I ended up walking a dog and doing a whole bunch of stuff. And being on your awesome stream where you hit 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, I absolutely love this movie. I got it ranked to number 5, I think, on my letterbox list for 2024. And yeah, this movie is real. So it's on Max for streaming. So if you guys want to check it out, that's where you can check it out.
Yeah, I highly recommend it as well. It is number 3 for me
Nice.
in 2024. I don't know if it's gonna stay that high, but as right now, I watched clips from it again and I got emotional again, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep it here for now. So just to read a synopsis for the film, which I think I'm gonna start doing for each film, just in case you don't know what it's about. Like he said, it's on HBO Max. Is starring Isabella Mercado, and I believe the girl that he's talking about that's a best friend is Cree Shikino. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly.
That's right. I had to look up some interviews for someone to say her name so I can know how to say it. Yeah.
That's how I do. I do that now too. Also, I want to shout out Judy Reyes, who was Isabella's mom. She was great in the film as well, and she's been around for a long time. She was in a movie I saw last year that I really, really liked. So I wanted to shout her out. But the movie is not easy being Aza, which is the main character's name. That was what Isabella Mercado, who is going to be Hawk Girl in Superman. She's also going to be in Last of Us season 2 as Dina. So she's and obviously she was in Madam Web, but
we can ignore that about that
because she has other stuff coming up. That's great. Right. Also, she was Dora the Explorer, so her career is on the way up. She's
been around. Yep.
It's not easy being Aza, but she's trying to be a good daughter, good friend, and a good student, all while navigating the endless barrage of invasive, obsessive thoughts that she cannot control. Like all those thoughts that you have in your head that you think about that you can control and like just push them to the side. It's hard for her to do that. Especially being a germaphobe, especially having depression, and there's a loss of father in the story, and how he's the one that understood her. And there's also like a mystery going on in the film that I don't want to spoil, and there's
which
a little
was
bit of
really
romance.
Interesting because in the that doesn't come up in the trailer at all. I didn't watch the trailer until after I watched the movie. I was like, because I wanted to see like, can I talk about this? Like, so I watched the trailer to see if the trailer talks about it. And I was like, that isn't even hinted at in the trailer.
Yeah, it's almost like, damn, I can't even put that in my review.
Right.
And I just really love when a movie stays on someone with the human condition, and we both talked about that. So and putting me in the shoes of someone that's dealing with something that I'm not dealing with.
Right.
Because now I kind of have a visual of what they're dealing with, and they visualize it in a way that I can understand, even though it's not something that's really visual to other people. So if someone tells me that they're suffering from this, obviously I don't have a true understanding of it, but I can be more patient with them.
Yeah, empathetic.
A lot more empathetic, and the movie is fun too. It's not only sad and depressing, because there are some sad moments in the film that will choke you up. There's some crazy things that happen, especially in that conversation that he was talking about that was really powerful. But the movie's fun. They have a moment with the outcast in it that was really great.
That was great. Yep,
I love that. Other than like living in the human condition in a film, I also love a film that shows like a bromance or like a is there a girl version of that? A sisterhood? I guess that will be the girl version of it. And their sisterhood was great. And everything mattered in the movie. Like all the little things that you think in the beginning of the movie that don't matter, it comes back later. And I love when a film is written smart like that. So this thing impacted me emotionally. It's the type of film that I love to see. The what's the word I'm looking for? The coming of age story is there.
That's definitely what it is. Yep.
It's a coming of age story, and but mixed with so much other stuff that makes it unique. And it's based off a book. So I might want to go check the book out and like see if there's more details that they had to cut out of the movie.
Correct. Yep.
But let's see. So Hurt All the Way Down. For me, I'm thinking to be fair, for me, it's a full price, but just because of the type of film it is, I'm thinking maybe matinee for the film.
So this is where the ranking gets hard, right? So the IMAX thing is like, it's a spectacle, is one of the greatest things you'll see, kind of thing.
Yeah, visually,
visually, I would say full price, just because of how good that movie is. Like
Yeah.
that film, like it's in your top 3. It's in my top 5. It could
Yeah.
move up. It could move down. I really had to revisit my thoughts on the Snow movie. The
Society of Snow.
Society of Snow. Even though it was phenomenal, I'm like, that's been up there for a minute. And not to say that it has to come down, but it's kind of like, are there other movies that are better? So I have to revisit that. But yeah, I would say full price for sure.
You know, I'm not going to argue with you. I was swirling between Full Price and Matinee just because of the kind of film it is. I can see somebody watching and think, oh, this is okay. But since you're saying full price, I'm going to put it on full price. I think this is a movie. It's not even a movie you can see in theaters. It's straight to streaming.
Which is weird, right? For the ranking is like, hey, we have a streaming, but and it was streaming, but we're going to put it at full price for sure.
Price, because I would have paid full price for it if it went into theaters.
Just like
which I think
Extraction, which should have been in theaters.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I feel like I bring that up every time. Yep.
Yeah, because it deserved to be in theaters, especially Extraction 2.
Oh god, that was great.
That was a great film. Like one of the few films that rivals Mission Impossible. A lot of people like to compare it to John Wick, but I feel like it rivals Mission Impossible a little bit more.
I think so too.
Next film, Mad. How you spell Mad? Mad Max Saga.
Why was I like? Wait, how do you spell Mad?
Let me get to the comments before we get to the next film. It says, let's see what these people saying. I hate when StreamYard moves past where I was holding it at. Like, don't do that. Crash on 1K. Appreciate you. Tarot's not that bad. I really enjoyed the Fall Guy and the new Planet of Apes movies. I really hope Disney give us a Planet of Apes 4K. I agree.
I hope so.
That movie deserves to be on 4K.
For sure.
Hey, the Lawrence Report. What's up, man? He said it's a part of the YouTube journey, fellas. Y'all doing good. Appreciate you, man.
100%. Thank you, man.
I just finished reading all the Marvel books I got at the beginning of the month. Avengers Dark Reign as well as AVX and Avengers Run as are great. Yeah, man. AVX is great and Avengers Dark Reign is crazy.
Yeah, I have Avengers. What's up right up there? I have Avengers versus X-Men. Why can't I talk? I have Avengers versus X-Men. I have not read it. I remember sitting in a Barnes and Noble and trying to read it, and it's like this art leaves a lot to be desired. But I need to get through the rest of the story.
Yeah, so like bad art could hurt a good story.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Obi throwing lines from Two Expectors. What's up, man?
What's up, Obi?
Well done, Zach. You finally made 2,000 subscribers. You're the man. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Zach, I don't know if you saw, but I put up 3 polls today, and so far, you're the only person who voted on American Sniper for me to review. Batman 89 won. Well, only because you bring it up so much, I wanted to hear your full thoughts in a review. I think you should still review it after Batman. I understand why Batman won. Like, a Batman movie is going to win 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, for sure.
What's the name of the movie? I might check it out tonight because I just got HBO Max. It's called.
Oh, congratulations on getting HBO Max. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know he be swapping the streaming services out. So, oh yeah, House of Dragons season 2 is coming. That's why you know he got it.
Mm-hmm.
Turtles All the Way Down is the name of the movie.
Yep.
Clay, what's up? Welcome back to the live stream. He said there were no turtles. No, there were not any turtles.
For real, I was literally watching the movie and I was like, where are the turtles? What does this title mean? So at some point I was like, are they just not going to expand on the title at all during this movie? Because they don't do it until like more than halfway through the film. I was like, oh, and then when they do, I was like, that's genius.
Yep. Yeah, I was like, it was worth it. It was worth it. The lack of turtles.
Yep.
Kenny Sparks, I have a learning disability and I'm a tiny bit autistic and I was also bipolar. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So you might be able to relate to a lot of the stuff that's happening in this movie, man.
For sure.
For me, so far, I would say Kingdom Planet Apes is probably the best movie so far. Nice.
Okay.
It's really good. And I have yet to see the new Mad Max movie yet. Is it out in Australia yet? Because I know sometimes you guys get some of the big movies like a week later or earlier or something like that. I wonder if it's out there yet. But speaking of Mad Max, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is the next film we're going to be talking about.
Nice.
Yeah, this was hilarious, action-packed, exhausting.
Exhausting is a good word for it too.
Yeah, it's an odyssey, and odysseys are exhausting. Someone said that this is like reading the Bible for the current world. And that is like, yeah, this is like the Bible this is like the Old Testament for Fury Road. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And the way it's separated, there is biblical references throughout, especially with the guy who remembers the old human history before all the attacks, everything like that. But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, phenomenal.
Yes.
Chris Hemsworth was phenomenal. One of his
Yes.
best performances that he's done. And I want to give the little girl who played young Furiosa basically for half the movie.
Yes.
What is her name? Alila Brown. She was fantastic.
She was great. She was phenomenal with like no lines really.
No lines. I don't think she said. Oh no, she did talk a little bit.
She said like one or two lines, but for the most part, it was very, very few.
It was all in the eyes, all in her face, all in the body language. The movie looks different from anything that's out there right now. I know a lot of people were like the VFX is wonky, but I think it was a stylistic choice. Yeah. And it makes it stand out amongst the blockbusters that we've gotten. You know, it's a movie that's dealing with sand, and we also got a big sand movie early with Dune. So you don't really want to compete with realistic sand versus realistic sand.
I had somebody comment on my video, like after seeing Dune Part 2, no sand movie looks good anymore. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you saying?
that is hilarious.
That is a ridiculous standard to set for yourself.
That's not fair to any movie.
Right.
Most movies don't go to the tundras and film on location.
Yeah, like that's wild. That's a wild standard.
That's hilarious. But I would say that Furiosa looked great. There is some wonky VFX that's not intentional here and there, but for the most part, I heard that it was done to keep the actors safe because some of the stunts they couldn't pull off. I'm all about keeping the actors safe. This was an amazing movie to me, and I also, like, going in, did not care for this movie, right? Like, I saw the trailers. I was like, I never watched any Mad Max movies when I saw the trailer, so I didn't have any context for Fury Road or the world. And then, like, I thought the VFX looked weird, and I thought that Chris Hemsworth looked weird. And I feel like he was playing like a pastiche of Thor a little bit with the red cape and the voice and everything. So I just had a lot of negative thoughts going in. But then, like, right before it came out, I started seeing some positive buzz, like some really strong ones.
Same.
And he's like, you know, I was like, let me watch Fury Road. And we'll be talking about that movie a little later on in the stream. Yeah. And Fury Road is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen, right? Like, I can say that without any doubt. So I was like, holy crap, if this is even a quarter as good as Fury Road, I'm in for at least a good ride. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the movie to me is like a step down from Fury Road, but it's almost as good.
Yeah, I agree.
So talk to me about your experience with this movie.
You're laughing because you know what it is. So I went to go see Fury Road about, like, I guess you could say almost a week before everybody else did. I saw it on the Monday of the week that it came out. And I went there and I was fighting consciousness throughout my entire time being in the theater for that movie. And it had nothing to do with the movie. I was just tired. It was a 45-minute drive to this theater that is literally across the universe from where I live, right? It's all the way up in the boonies in the suburbs. And I went to go see it and I was falling asleep. I was fighting consciousness. Every time I would wake up, somebody knew it was on the screen. Like, no lie. No lie. That the first big action scene on the war rig where she's like with her mentor, or she's hiding under the truck, but she's with her mentor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Missed it entirely. I had no idea. Like, it absolutely insane. When I woke up, she was with him, like hanging out, like just running missions. I fell asleep again, woke up, they're at the bullet farm. And, you know, they're approaching the bullet farm. So I was like, man, this movie, they just keep driving in circles and they keep going back and forth. And I feel like there's no real character development. Anya Taylor-Joy hasn't been in this movie for almost half the film, so on and so forth. And not to mention, I missed the first 10 minutes of the movie. So I never even saw the green place, right? When I walked into the theater, the little Furiosa was on the back of somebody's bike being driven towards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You missed all that?
Yeah. So I saw her mom snipe a few people, and then it was just like, and that's where I came in, and then I started falling asleep throughout the rest of the movie. So I was like, man, this movie is not good. It's so throughout the rest of the week, you and the rest of my friends are like, yo, this movie is phenomenal. It's great. It's awesome. And this isn't the first time, like, I've disliked something that a lot of people have liked. But when I saw, like, the fervor in which people were like, this movie is amazing, I was like, all right, let me go see it again. So I watched Fury Road on, like, the Sunday or like I watched Fury Road right before I saw it. I didn't watch it in the car this time. I finished it in the house, and then I drove to go see Furiosa in a much closer theater. And I saw it, and I was like, "This movie is absolutely amazing." And I will say, seeing Fury Road right before this movie probably enhanced my experience with this movie a ton, because Fury Road mentions Bullet Farm, it mentions Gastown, and
Mhm.
so when you're going in to see Furiosa, if you haven't seen Fury Road in years, because I think the first one was 2018, 2017,
2015.
2015. If you haven't seen it in almost 10 years,
Yeah.
right? I completely forgot Bullet Town and Gastown existed, and Morton Joe and all this other stuff and all these other like important characters. So yeah, so without that context, I don't think that without that context, this movie is as good as it was. But
Yeah.
with seeing Fury Road and jumping right into Fury Road, I thought it was great. Like you said, Chris Hemsworth, as all the different dimensions is, was amazing. Anya Taylor Joy was great in this film, just doing her physical acting, right? And also that when I finally did see it, that war rig scene was amazing. I love the war rig scenes, and that's why I love Fury Road, like you were saying, a little bit more, if not a lot of bit more, even though I do love this movie, because it's just one long war rig fight scene, chase scene. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed this film after finally actually seeing it. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's not doing well at the box office, even though it has good word of mouth,
unfortunately, yeah.
reviews, decent cinema score, and I do think the fact that it's to me is one of the best prequels ever made. But I
Hmm.
think the fact that it is one of the best prequels ever made is the deterrent for the film, because obviously the people who
What do you
see
mean?
it like it. So I
Hmm.
think the people who don't see it is because they either haven't seen Fury Road in a long time,
Ah,
or maybe they didn't
yeah.
even care about Fury Road. Because I'm seeing people say now like they didn't like Fury Road, right? There's not everybody, and that movie didn't do well at
Mhm.
the box office either. So the
No, it
fact that
didn't.
the previous movie didn't do good at the box office, it didn't. Fury Road didn't have a resurgence on streaming like let's say Into the Spider-Verse did. That's why
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse ended up doing really well.
Yep.
And it's not it's accessible, it's R-rated.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse is anybody can watch that, a kid, whatever.
Yep.
And
And
it also for the
Furiosa
Mhm.
costs more and made to this point less.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
made
So,
less. And there's so much in that film that's like reference to like oh shoot, Bullet Town, oh Gas Town, oh
yep.
wait, that guy was on that side first, and that's how he got like when that switch
I
happened.
yo completely forgot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Completely forgot.
Exactly. So there's like little things that when you after you see Fury Road, you remember characters.
Hmm.
It enhances the Furiosa review, and I think you could watch the movies. Like you could watch Furiosa first, and then watch Fury Road. I think it'll still be a great watch, and then you
Yep.
can also do the backwards and still a great
Honestly,
watch.
going forward, I'm going to watch Furiosa first and
And
then
then
go into, because they're both Furiosa's movies. That's the
yeah,
one thing I also came with. These are both Furiosa's movies. Even in Mad Max Fury Road, he's
yeah,
quite literally he's a not a side character. He's a supporting character in the movie.
yeah,
It is Furiosa's movie from start to finish.
yeah. And I really like her as a character so far. I
Same.
would love. I know they want to do a sequel to Fury Road instead of another
Hmm.
prequel, and it probably might not happen now because of the box office. But
Yeah,
Fury Road didn't do well, so maybe another 9 years we'll get Wasteland,
maybe. Yeah.
and I'll be
Well,
in the theater, my old ass self, like,
yep.
oh, Sonny, I remember.
You will literally only be 44 at that time. So I don't think you'll
Like I
be.
said, my old ass self. My bones are cracking right now when I get out of the seat. At
Yo,
44, I'm gonna turn into dust.
these bones be cracking.
Like the mythical creature. Um,
Hey, yep,
let's see. So Furiosa, I feel like this is an easy IMAX.
for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
easy IMAX. The film is gorgeous. I think that it's a movie that is definitely worth seeing. With the sound design is
Hmm.
amazing. All the technical stuff are so good that I think is an easy mistake. Say, hey, put this inside of the
Yeah.
IMAX screen and enjoy it, the full scope of everything, especially the action sequences.
Yep.
Oh my god. Like,
100%
you
agree.
talk about the war rig scene, and I'm just thinking about the mom going to, and it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but the mom trying to save young Furiosa, like in the very beginning of the movie. That was
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah,
Just
that
the
was
whole
great.
tactical element of it.
Yep.
Fantastic film.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Take that off. Let's see what the comments is saying. For me, it's the best movie so far. Kingdom was good. I have not seen the new Mad Max movie yet. Thoughts on Galactus being the next big bad for MCU? If it's true, do you think they are rushing things? Yes, because we haven't finished off Kang. Let's get that out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's too big. I think they need to scale down a bit with what they're doing. I think going Galactus with the guy that eats planets after doing the multiverse is going to push a lot of people away. Maybe introduce him for the Fantastic Four, but him being a big bad, I don't know.
I think if Galactus, I think if the rumors are true that they're actually from a different universe in the past or whatever, I think dealing with Galactus way back then can actually work because he's detached from all this stuff we're dealing with, the Eternals and Celestials and all this stuff. Because trying to do the Eternals, Celestials, and Galactus, who is a Celestial, like trying to do all that at the same, like that's a lot. But if you're separating it by putting them in the past, I think that can work because you can even bring that up to the future if you need to. But yeah, also like that's kind of who they're most known for dealing with is Galactus. You could do a Mole Man villain if you want to. It could probably work, but that doesn't feel as grand as you would want it to, especially going into Secret Wars and whatever Avengers 5 is actually going to be.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Scottish Geek Guy, what's up, man?
Howdy.
He said, I feel like streaming services need to sell a season pass that allow non-subscribers to access to watch a specific show during its run. Ooh.
That's not a bad idea. That's
the
not a
only
bad idea
reason, actually, no, I'll take back what I was about to say. Because I was going to say the only reason I wouldn't say that is because you can rent shows on like iTunes and Amazon Prime and stuff like that. But you can't do it with exclusive shows like Netflix originals aren't rentable. So that actually would be a good idea. Like somebody only wants to watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like they would be like, well, you would have to set the price at a point where they would get their money's worth. And at that point, it might not be financially viable for you because they're saying to themselves, well, if you're only going to watch this show, you're never going to see anything else that you might just click on just because. And now we're losing all this money because you won't click on that other thing because you don't have access to that other thing. It might be like, oh, why would we do that? That wouldn't help us, kind of thing. At the same time, as a consumer, I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, as a consumer, that makes sense. But also at that point, because the price point they would have to put it will be so high, you can just buy Netflix for a month, watch the show, don't renew it. You know what I mean? Which a lot of people do. Like Collective Movie Man just got HBO Max just so he can watch House of Dragon, and after House of Dragon is done, he's probably going to cancel it. So,
man, this next month is going to be super busy
in terms of television. Holy yes, it is.
God. I'm so glad I don't cover television.
Me too. Oh my God, I was doing the beginning of my channel. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not good at this.
Yeah,
wasn't actually a huge fan of Furiosa. Gave it a 6 out of 10 in my review. That's fine.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I gotta check out your. I don't think I'm subscribed to you, Scotch Guy. I gotta subscribe to you. Check out your review.
Am I not subscribed to this gentleman?
Do you guys think TV shows are doing better this year or movies? Are you talking about in terms of my personal enjoyment? Or are you talking about numbers wise? Elaborate on that, Obi.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anything's doing well this year. To be honest with you.
Facts. Is it strange how Netflix is very different than they used to be decades ago? I don't really think it's that strange.
Things change over time.
Yeah, they came out so long ago, and they have to adapt to the needs of the younger generation.
And they're not that different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 4:30 shift. I was just pop in and say hi. Congrats on 1K. 1 milli coming soon, my guy. I appreciate that vote of confidence.
Thanks for stopping in, Clay.
Yeah, man. Have a good 4 a.m. shift. If the movie doesn't keep you awake, that shows that it's not a good movie. Well,
no. I was tired. I was like super tired. So that has nothing to do with the film itself, especially considering I went to go see it a second time and I absolutely loved it and stayed awake the entire time. Was thoroughly entertained and gave it a great review. I don't think it has anything to do with the film. Yeah, and I showed up 10 minutes late.
There are certain movies that, like, if they can't keep you awake, that means they're not good. But I don't think that was the situation here. He was just
Right.
dead tired because he did a lot. You know, he
Yeah.
did a bunch of adulting stuff.
A bunch of I'm not subscribed to the Scottish Kid Guy. Subscribe.
Yeah, I'm about to subscribe to him soon. I'm not a fan of any of the Mad Max movies, even though Mel Gibson's in them. I would probably enjoy them. I'm just not interested in that universe. Okay,
Makes
that's
sense.
fair. I'd much rather Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon trilogy. Lethal Weapon is an amazing
Lethal
trilogy.
Weapon is fantastic. The fourth one is actually really good, which is hard to do.
It is. My expectations are high for the film now. Ooh.
Hey.
Hopefully you love it, man.
Go in with an open mind.
Yeah. I know the original Mad Max movies are on HBO Max, so I might watch them on there and see what I think of them. Honestly, I haven't seen the original 3. I've only seen Fury Road, and I don't think you need to go back and watch those. If you want to watch Furiosa, you can just watch Fury Road and then watch Furiosa.
Yep. George Miller has said it's the same character.
Yeah.
But in my mind, there's no way.
He also said that Fury Road, because originally that movie was supposed to come out 10 years earlier than it was, and it was supposed to be Mel Gibson in the role, but then production problems happened. He couldn't get the money. Then Mel Gibson kind of aged out of the role. So Fury Road he started doing wild stuff.
Yeah.
So I think with him, I just came to my mind, like he just started doing wild stuff, and it's funny. The only person he does movies with is Mark Wahlberg, who also does wild stuff.
Doing wild stuff, yeah.
I think with Tom Hardy, it's an alternate timeline. So I was reading up on it, like certain events that happened between Thunderdome and I think the third one happened earlier or later because of how they position Fury Road. So it's like the same universe was an alternate universe. I don't know how to explain. You know what I mean?
In the beginning of Fury Road, there's a lot of flashbacks to previous events that I'm just not aware of. And I feel like that's probably from those previous movies.
Yeah. And I think the way they did it, it gave you enough context where you don't feel lost. It's like, oh, he lost somebody. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of all the modern Marvel comics, Fantastic Four seems to be the only great stories. Unfortunately, they no longer release new comics. That's an interesting take. I think I don't know if they're the only great one. I think Spider-Man has great stories. I think the X-Men has still been doing great stories. But Fantastic Four just doesn't have a strong enough fan base for some reason where their comic always gets canceled every time they start.
No, I think there's a run going on right now. Is there not?
For what I know, I don't think so, but I might be wrong.
Okay.
Because I can see them starting up a run because the movie is about to come out. Dark Room reviews. Yo, fellas. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Dark Room?
I don't know if you guys heard about this, but because so many people are subscribing to streaming service to watch a show, they cancel their service. Streaming services are about to charging your own personal. I'm not charging a fee when you cancel this. Whoa. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
that's a terrible idea. I think people would.
No way. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that is a horrible idea.
Yeah, I think the pirating will go up heavy if people do that.
Oh yeah, we would all be Jack Sparrow in that situation.
Oh, your own personal opinion on what you enjoy more. Well, for me, I'm not watching that much TV. Like right now, I'm only watching My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer, and I'm still behind on that. And there's shows from last year that I need to watch, like the Harley Quinn season 4. I haven't gotten to watch. I need to watch Shogun. I need to watch that Mike Flanagan show on Netflix, House of Usher. There's tons of shows that I need to catch up on. So Black Mirror. I mean, there's so many old shows. So right now movies are hitting for me right now.
Yeah, I've started so many shows this year and have not finished them. But I will say I did watch all of Baby Reindeer, which was great, even though it was disturbing. I have X-Men 97 was amazing. I absolutely love that show.
So good.
I did not finish Fallout, not because it's bad. I just haven't finished it. But we're about to hit our stride with House of Dragon, The Bear, The
Boys,
The Acolyte. I'm looking forward to, and The Boys. Yeah, all in June. Like this month.
A lot of Acolyte, The Boys, The Bear.
Yeah, right. All that's happening in June, and that's why I'm saying I'm so glad I don't remember when Collider used to do like all the DC shows. They used to cover. That was a fun time, man.
That was a good time.
But yeah, I just cannot. Yeah, I cannot imagine trying to cover cover all that. I'll probably cover the Acolyte, because
Acolyte.
we covered Ahsoka last year, which was a
That
lot
makes
of fun. But yeah.
And what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
I
Dark
think I've
Room,
Sorry.
thank you for gifting a membership.
Hey,
I appreciate
that's
you,
awesome.
man.
That is awesome.
I think the first show that's gonna do really well is House of Dragon, because when season 1 comes out, it pulled almost 11 million views. Oh,
Yeah.
Rings of Power is coming back soon too, and I really enjoyed season 1.
I should probably watch, now that I've watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies. I should probably watch Rings of Power.
There's an episode in season 1 of Rings of Power that I think is one of the greatest action episodes I've seen of any show. Like,
Nice.
It was movie. I thought I was watching a movie.
Nice.
And even the ending, I was like, and I didn't even watch Lord of the Rings before, so I didn't even have full context of how awesome the moment was. But it was just crazy.
Hey man, some stuff is just good. It stands out.
Yeah. 80 Kids for the 90s. He's the one that got the membership.
Nice. That's awesome. I think somebody gifted him a membership to my channel too. He got randomly selected. That's awesome.
I think Mad Max should go down the series route. I definitely could see it being a series.
I can see that for sure.
I even like the Lethal Weapon TV show with Damon Wayans. Didn't last long. I heard people like that show, but it got canceled.
Yeah, I think it got canceled because somebody was tripping.
Yes, that makes sense. Thoughts on the original Fantastic Four 2000s film?
Fun.
Yeah, they're fun. I think the first one's better than the second one.
For sure. I will say, well, for one, the first one, the fight between Ben Grimm and Dr. Doom in the swimming pool, that whole sequence, awesome. The Silver Surfer, as bad as the second one was, Silver Surfer was amazing. Like, he looked awesome, and everything he did in that movie was great.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you that too. I agree.
Just Cloud Galactus, man.
They're not doing that again. Oh, no, they're not doing that again. They've cast Galactus, so
that's right. That's right.
Not a fan of comics, but the Fantastic Four movie ruined my perception of those heroes.
Interesting.
Ooh. Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
Is it
I've never watched Fan Forsic. Yeah, I've never seen it.
I started it and I was like, yeah, no, I can't. I was like, yeah, nah.
And I like Miles Teller. And I like Michael B. Jordan.
Those actors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And everybody else. Yeah.
But yeah. I was like, I like all those actors. Just like, yeah, no, this is. I
feel like
it's darker than a DC movie.
Complete, like, my superhero movie watching.
Yeah, maybe I will do a watch along one day.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the comics, X-Men, X is the worst leader. The dude just abandons his students and decides not to help the situation for the Avengers or the X-Men. Yeah,
that is accurate. That is so accurate.
Oh, the one with Jessica Alba. Really? I feel like I see that, because I feel like the tone of the movie was right. I just don't think the writing and the characterizations were completely on board.
Yeah, it didn't work out well.
Yep, he's always thought the first movie was cool. Doom and Surfer were great in the sequel. Yeah. All those movies have great elements to it. It's just like, there's the whole product is not.
And it's stuff that they always, like, every time we see Doom, he's like completely different. I don't understand what they're doing with that.
He's such a good character to translate straight over. You don't have to change much. He's theatrical. He's meant for live action.
They always leave Latveria out. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's a major part of who he is. But
just make it. Where is it, in Romania or something like that? It's like a fictional place in Romania.
I have no idea. I know it's fictional, but I have no idea where it's at.
Yeah, just make it part of like one of the Eastern European places. They do it like Wakanda's.
No, it is Romania. I think you're right. It is Romania.
Yeah, just make it in Romania and get a Romanian actor and go for it, man. Yeah. Let's get into the next film. Next film is actually one I haven't seen because I had no interest in watching this, but you check it out. Talking about If. Talk to us about If.
Boy, so If was not good. If was awful. So
awful.
Let me say it like this. I had an awful time watching If. I did not enjoy the film at all. It was just like, so if you remember those straight to VHS, like kids movies that used to come out back in the day in the 90s, that's what it felt like to me. Like John Krasinski, I think he directed it. And he's in it as well. He plays a good role. He's John Krasinski. He's good in everything he's in, right?
Yeah.
And the young lady who leads the film, I don't remember her name. I thought that she did good in the role that she was in, but everything else was just kind of bad. Like I did
Mhm.
not have a good time with this movie at all. So much so I didn't even review it because I did not want to spend my time on it because this is a cinema sin. Halfway through the movie, I messaged you guys. I was like, "Yo, I don't know what the hell I'm doing in this theater because it just wasn't for me." I was talking with it was either last night or I think I was talking to TJ earlier actually, and I was
Yeah.
talking about how Pixar has made it towards where it's not like I'm a snob and I'm looking down on like kids movies. Some kids movies are still enjoyable even though they are you can tell they are kids movies, right?
Yeah.
Pixar has set this standard, not standard, but Pixar has um, set a style for themselves where it's for adults, but it's colorful so that kids can digest it, right?
Hmm.
So Wally is about like the Wally is quite literally about the troubles or Wally is quite literally about AI and how too
Yeah.
much reliance on technology can ruin your entire planet, right? And not only that, it can also cause you to sit in a chair and just become so lazy and addicted to the screen that you're watching that you become a fat person like floating on the screen. So much so where walking becomes difficult because you're so invested in this technology that you won't go out and touch grass, right?
Yeah.
So that's literally what Wally is about. But all the kids see is Eva and Wally. Like, so that's what the kids see, right? And they're
Yeah.
enjoying that. And the evil AI that tries to take over. It's crazy, right? I was sitting in if like, I don't care about any of this, like at
So
all.
what's it about? What's it about?
If
Basically.
is essentially about a young lady who has dealt with some if is essentially about a young lady whose parents have both experienced some medical issues, and she's trying to find different ways to cope with those issues. And one of the ways in which this world works is your imaginary friend is there to help you through that time. And
Mhm.
sometimes, as you get older and you no longer need your imaginary friends, you get disconnected from it because now you're an adult. You don't need that kind of support anymore, or so it seems, right? The adult forgets about their imaginary friend. And now we're in a situation where the imaginary friend has been forgotten, so they need to be either partnered with a new young person or reintroduced to their adult friend to help them out, right? So that's essentially what the movie is about. You're trying to reconnect the imaginary friend to the adult or connect the imaginary friend to a child who is in need of that kind of support. Really cool premise. I like the premise. The execution of the movie is just god awful. I did not have a good time in that movie.
A lot of people compare it to Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. Is it like a Timu version of that?
So I never saw that
Oh, okay.
show, but I did see the memes slash videos on the Instagrams and the TikToks that the young folks use about that comparison, and it is kind of damning
Oh,
how much it compares. Even the main if that's voiced by Steve Carell,
yeah.
like it like the I think in that animated show, it's like Blue is the name of the
Yeah.
main one, and Blue is the name of the the main if that Steve Carell plays, but
Is
it's
he
just
purple?
different. He's purple bluish
Oh,
purple,
okay.
right? So they have literally the same name. A lot of it is very similar.
Very
So
similar.
yeah,
Okay.
it's wild in that fashion.
Damn.
Yeah,
Woof. Well, like I said, I haven't gotten to see the movie. The trailers didn't entice me, which is rare because I see a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Like I'll just go. There's a movie coming. I was like, I had no interest in checking it out. I was like, I needed a break from YouTube anyway, so it was like the perfect time to
Mhm.
take a break, just going to the theaters as well. But if we're so, this is a skip for you, huh? Or a stream?
It's a skip. I feel like it's a skip for me. I could see recommending streaming it to somebody because there are people who like this movie,
Yeah,
right? But I mean, there's someone who likes every movie, but it's not like American Society Magic of Negroes where it's a skip, right?
yeah.
So maybe watching on streaming, you might enjoy it.
Okay. So it's not for you,
Yeah.
but you can see others, and we know others who have enjoyed the film.
Yeah. Dave enjoyed it. He's one person who really liked it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Which streaming service do you guys find using the most? Right
That's a
now,
good
let me
question.
look at my phone. I am using Prime Video the most, and then after that, Peacock.
I would say I probably use Hulu Hulu the most right now because I'm watching the NBA playoffs and I'm also watching SmackDown and Raw. And I watch sports television during the day. I have Hulu Live, so I'll watch all that stuff. So Hulu is definitely one, and the other one is the rest of them are just interchangeable. It really just depends on what's on. So I was on Disney Plus because X-Men 97 was on. You know what I mean? So it really depends on what show I'm watching at the time. But I would say the most is Hulu.
Yeah, I think like I watch Abbott Elementary on Hulu, which just finished. Great show. Disney Plus because X-Men 97.
I need to finish
watch
that.
Max because of Scavenger's Reign. I watch Peacock for wrestling and French Prince of Bel-Air or Bel-Air, the new remake of that show. And there's like a cop show called Irrational on there that I watch.
Okay.
I use Shudder for like new horror movies. Like I watch Late Night of the Devil on there. So and Crunchyroll's for anime. So like I use all of them almost equally. I feel like
I'm using
like
Crunchyroll
Netflix
a lot right now. Because I'm watching Kaiju number 8, which is phenomenal. It is great. Yeah, I've been binging it. Me and my wife have been binging it. So
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Hey Zach, I want to tell you I finished the episode of Naruto Shippuden. Nice. That one character that was in charge of Team 10 that died from the Leaf Village. Woo! Yeah, Shippuden's when people started getting knocked off on
a regular basis.
On a regular basis. They was like, this cast has gotten too big. If only. Damn.
That's wild. But appropriate.
She's really good at that.
Yep.
Hey, Heartbeat at the movies. Welcome to the
what's up, Heartbeat? What's up, family?
Good evening. Speaking of that, let me end this poll. Just realized had this poll going. How's everyone feeling? Let's see what you guys say. 64% of you guys are great, 29% of you guys are good, and 5% of you guys could be better. Well, the ones that could be better, I hope the stream helps you, your morale up. Everyone that's doing really good, I'm happy to hear that.
Yep.
I'm seeing The Watchers is coming this upcoming Thursday, and then next day I'm seeing Bad Boys 4. Nice.
I'm seeing Bad Boys 4 this weekend or this week.
I'm gonna see it. I want to see both of those films. I'll see if it's hard. I used to be able to see 2 films a week. Now it's like
it's hard. I need to see
Hitman's also coming out too on Netflix, and I really want to see that. The new Glenn Powell film. I heard it's fantastic.
That's right. Yeah, that's the 7th. That's June 7th. Yeah.
Yeah. And Godzilla -1 is on Netflix now. I want to rewatch that.
Yo, how dare they just drop that bomb on us in the middle of the night?
12 a.m.
Right.
No warning.
I wonder if they had like, oh, cool, we got it. We signed the contract. Drop it. Like, I wonder if that was the situation.
I have a feeling because Toho doesn't have a relationship with Netflix. I don't know where that. It must have been a bidding war, and they're like, "I'll just drop this shit right now."
Yeah.
Foster's Home Imaginary Friends was a great cartoon. It really was, and I think it holds up. If more like as if. Oh my god. Right now, I'm using Hulu the most because it ends on June 9th for me. My subscription ends, and I'm not renewing it. I'm also watching Naruto Shippuden on Hulu. Yeah, it's on there as well.
June 9th. That's my birthday.
Nice.
Yep.
I just got back Apple TV Plus, Paramount Plus, and Max. Oh, he loaded up.
Oh, cool. That's what's up.
Frisky, what's up, man?
Frisky.
Welcome to the live stream. How you doing?
What's up, dude?
I hope Pedro can pull off Reed Richards. Krasinski did a fantastic job.
I like what Krasinski did.
I didn't think he was fantastic. I think that he was okay.
I think that he could have, like, if they would have given him more to do, then he could have, because he only got 3 lines and got shredded. So
yeah, yeah, pretty much. It was just like, you're here, but are you here? Yeah. The next one, this next film that's not it right there. Is a film that I feel like deserved more love, even though I didn't like it as much as other people did, but I still think it was a really good film. Some people think it's great. The Fall Guy.
Fall Guy, yeah.
Talk to me about Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy was so the Fall Guy is essentially a movie about a hitman who is tasked with finding the missing star of a movie, and essentially, did I say a hitman?
You meant stunt man, but
Yeah,
I get what you said.
the Fall Guy stars Ryan Gosling as a stuntman who was injured and takes some time off, but then he's rehired in to work on a movie with his with the love interest or the love of his life, who is that is not Charlize Theron.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. I mix them up all the time. With Emily Blunt, who's directing her first film, and now the star is missing, and he's sent out to go find the missing star of the movie, and it leads him to all kinds of hijinks, including assassination attempts, gunfights, sword fights, and stunts, real stunts throughout the streets. That movie is fun as hell, and not only is it fun as hell, it is funny as hell. It's funny shit. Like that one scene, which I won't. It's not a spoiler, but that one scene where Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling's characters are talking during filming a stunt scene, but they're actually talking about their relationship, and they're using the characters in her movie to kind of like talk through those. I cannot. I was laughing so hard in that theater during that scene. It's funny as hell. But yeah, so this is a movie I really enjoyed. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought it got a little bit slow in the middle and ramping up towards the end. But once the end hits, it's just awesome. And not to mention, Winston Duke is also in it, and he's fantastic in this movie.
Yeah.
The Fall Guy was really good. What did you think of it?
I really, really enjoyed the film. Like you said, it's really fun throughout. I think Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling had amazing chemistry together.
Yeah,
I wish that they were in the movie together more. I think that was the main thing. Like my main thing, what falters with this movie is that it's doing too much at one time. You know, it's like a crime thriller mystery. Then it's tribute to stunt actors, which is very needed. It's an action film. It's a rom-com. It's supposed to be meta, so it's doing all these things. But I don't think there's enough space in the runtime or just in execution to get it done. There's also like a lot of Stephanie Sue is in the character, and she did a good job, but not used enough. Winston Duke was great, but he wasn't used enough. So it's like side characters that I wish got used. And even Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's the missing actor, I don't think he was used enough either. He's hilarious in the movie, and I don't think he's used enough. So there's a lot of great characters. There's a lot of fun moments. The action is so good because it focuses on the stunt so much. So we don't get to really see that, and we get to see the behind the scenes, like within the movie, but also like the real product. And there's fun cameos. It's just a really, really fun movie. I just think that lull in the middle, and then like the ending kind of felt messy. That whole ending action sequence, it didn't all come together for me. In a way, I don't know how to fully describe it, but overall, I still highly recommend checking it out. I wish more people saw it in the theaters because it's such a good time. And let's see, where will we rank it? That's going to be hard.
That's the difficult part. Weirdly enough, I feel like you're leaning towards matinee. I'm leaning towards matinee, even though I really enjoy this film.
Yeah,
I can't say I enjoy it nearly as much as Turtles All the Way Down. Right, so that's kind of like where I'm at with it. And same thing with Furiosa. I like Furiosa and Turtles All the Way Down significantly more than Fall Guy, even though I thoroughly enjoyed Fall Guy.
Yeah, and even if you want to put a full price, you could put it behind Turtles.
You could,
second rank. So, do you feel like it should be a full price?
No.
Or you still feeling matinee?
I still feel matinee. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. I forget, what did I rank this movie?
That's a good question. I ranked Fall Guy. It's number 25 for me.
Okay.
On my letterbox.
25, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see in my list real quick. I'm pulling up the list. What is this? 2024?
2024.
That's what year we're in. I have it 12. And I have it 12. But in terms of so I gave it 3.5 stars, right? So and I gave Turtles All the Way Down 5 stars. So there's
Yeah.
just no way, right? So
It's a big difference.
right.
Yeah, but I highly recommend it. It's on. I think you can rent it now. I don't think it's on official streaming service just yet, but it's worth the rent
for sure.
Because it was worth to go on to see in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping Pedro can pull off Reed Richards because I read that. He's not. I'm not using any streaming right now. Okay. I definitely think Pedro will be able to pull it off. He's a good actor. I agree.
Yeah.
Fall Guy is currently in our top 5 of the year. Jordan Shrug. Well, you don't got a Jordan Shrug. That's totally fair.
Yeah, so that's fair. It's a really good movie for sure.
It's a really good movie. I know it's some people's favorite movie of the year. So like that's totally understandable. Really enjoyed Fall Guy. I wanted to get the Walmart edition 4K exclusive steelbook because there's an extended cut of the movie and the regular cut, and you can only get the extended cut through Walmart. Okay, I didn't know that.
Nice. I'm looking at my rankings right now, and I'm like, is that really supposed to be in front of that? Let me stay focused on this stream because I got Furiosa ahead of Love Lies Bleeding. I don't know if I believe that's true.
Like he's I don't believe that's true. I don't that's hilarious. Seeing behind the scenes and the meta jokes points was on point. Yeah, definitely was.
Yeah. Oh
really
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
If we get Red Hulk, then we need the Hulk return. Oh, the Hulk return? Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, I agree.
They got to face off.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently saw it was a fine good movie, but no amazing. Okay, he's talking about the Fall Guy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys heard, but Mahershala Ali signed a contract to be the next Jurassic Park movie. I heard he was in talks.
Yeah, I think he's in talks to do that. I don't know if he's signed officially, but you know what's really interesting about that? I think Dev Patel was in talks to be a part of this movie. Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali.
Definitely in it. Yeah.
That tells me that the tone of these next few films is going to be drastically different from the Chris Pratt films. Not that Chris Pratt is bad, but if you have Mahershala Ali, this dude is trying to act, as is Dev Patel, as is Scarlett Johansson. So I think that the tone of these next few movies is going to be completely different.
And I really like that cast. The cast is strong. It's diverse. It's actors that Scarlett Johansson, it's not a proven box office draw. Her solo movies haven't really done amazing, but maybe after a while, maybe it's time for her to be in. I think Jurassic Park helps because that's kind of the draw itself. But I'd love to get Dev Patel to upgrade and get a big franchise like this. And Mahershala Ali, also, if he's going to be in the MCU, got to be in other big things too. So yeah, I'm down for that. So this next film
has quite literally only starred as the main star, and I think 2 movies in his entire.
Is it the Green Book?
No, not even Green Book because he's supporting in that. That is Swan Song, and I believe it's the one that came out late last year. The one about the apocalypse with Kevin Bacon in it.
And he shared that he wasn't even the main star.
So for real, he's only had one movie where he's the main star, where he's the top of the billing, which is crazy to me because he has 2 Oscars to his name.
Because to me, he's Denzel level, right? He's or he can be at least.
Yeah.
And he just needs the opportunities.
Yep.
This next film I don't think you saw, but I saw. And that's called The Last Stop at Yuma County.
I did not see it.
So this is one of the most unique films I saw. It came out in theaters, limited release, and then went straight to digital right after.
Okay.
And it is a film. Let me Google it so I can give you the synopsis. The Last Stop in Yuma County. What it's about: it's stranded at an Arizona rest stop. A traveling knife salesman gets thrust into a high-stake hostage situation by the arrival of 2 bank robbers who will stop at nothing to protect their ill-forgotten fortune. Right, and the movie ended up doing good. Actually, never mind. No, it did not. The budget was. I was reading the budget and the box office backwards. So the budget was $1 million. The box office was only $41,000.
Sheesh.
But that's probably why it was sent to digital right away. And hopefully it makes its money back on digital because it is a really great movie. The way the movie is set up, it has kind of I don't say hokey, but kind of a hokey feel to it in like a great way. There's a really great mystery centered around it. It has really good fun characters all around, but they're in the middle of Arizona. It's like the 1970s or something like that. So way back then. So there's not a lot of cameras around. There's no cell phones. They're still using rotary phones to call the cops.
Oh.
And this guy, he stops at a gas station. There's no gas in the gas station. They're waiting for the truck to come and fill up the gas. And the truck is taking forever to come. He goes in there. He's the only one in the diner. The waitress gives him coffee and stuff like that. He's just chilling. And then these two guys come in and they just robbed a bank. And the description of their car and them is on the radio. Everyone kind of knows about them. So as soon as they walk in, he's like, oh shit, is that the people who did it? So he like talks to the waitress, and her husband is the sheriff of that area. So she tries to call, and then they realize it, and then chaos kind of ensues. People coming in and out of the thing. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen, and there's development after development as the movie progresses to the wildest finish I've seen probably all year. One thing that I love about this film is that it's one of the only films that I've seen this year where I couldn't predict what was going to happen. Right?
Nice.
I've watched so many movies that like most of the time I can predict, okay, this is how the movie's going to end. Let's just see how they take me along the ride. This one, I was like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm having a good time. And every time I was like, okay, this is the end. This is where it's going to go. It kept going. And I was like, whoa, there's more. Oh my God, it's got more chaotic. Oh, this got even more chaotic. And I'm like, what is happening? The last 15 minutes is insane.
Okay, so I'm sold. I definitely want to see this movie.
Yeah,
what streaming service is it on?
I don't think it's on a streaming service yet. It's kind of like you got to rent it.
Oh, okay. I see it's on Amazon and Apple.
Yeah. So you can rent it. It's probably pretty cheap, but the cast is really good. It's full of actors who are like character actors, so they're not like movie stars. They usually play a character, and you know their face from something. Like Jim Cummings is the main character. Sierra McCormick. All these character actors do a really great job playing their characters. Even Faison Love is in this, and he did a great job as well. And the music is solid. The cinematography feels like the movie is from the time period. And I just had a lot of fun watching it. I really wish that I had a chance to see this in the theaters with people, because I'm pretty sure there would have been a lot of oohs and ahs, like oh my god, and laughs, and it would have been a great time in the theater. So for me personally, I can't say it's a full price film, but I definitely say it's a matinee.
Okay.
And actually,
you sold me on it. I want to see it.
I actually enjoyed it more than Fall Guy, so I'll put it in front of Fall Guy in terms of matinee. Most people probably won't enjoy it more than Fall Guy, because Fall Guy is a lot more fun throughout, has big action, has the bigger actors. But I kind of knew where Fall Guy was going, like halfway through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With this, I still did, like, even when I rewatch it, I'm like, I'm probably gonna have to catch stuff that I didn't catch the last time. So I highly recommend watching The Last Stop in Yuma County. It's a great film.
That's what's up. I'm looking it up to see if yep. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check this out.
Kingdom of...
Oh yeah, it definitely has literally every character actor you can think of
that you can think of.
It's that guy from that thing. Like,
yep,
all throughout this movie. Okay, yeah, that sounds dope.
Let's see.
Chris Pine is Pool Man. What the hell is this?
This is his directorial debut.
Huh.
I heard it was garbage, but I'm gonna see it for myself eventually, because I'm a Chris Pine fan.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Rotten Tomatoes on this thing.
Yeah, it came out festivals from last year, and they were saying it was trash. So,
okay.
Woo.
Yeah.
Pratt seems more like a celebrity actor rather than an actor. I don't know.
What do you mean by celebrity actor?
I guess with celebrity actor, when I hear that term, it's someone that he's not like the Broadway guy. He's not the indie movie guy. He's not like the person that will transform for a role. Like, you know, when he like the actor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And celebrity actors are people who kind of like Angie and Jolie and Chris Pratt, like people who are famous for acting, but they are not part of the craft. I don't know if I even agree with that term.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I agree with that, because I mean, even him crying over Rocket Raccoon, like, I'm like, this dude is going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiara says, sounds interesting. I think you'll like it because, you know, you love fun. It doesn't have the diversity you like. I guess Faison's there, but but I think it's still a fun film. So the next film is a film that I think most of us in this chat have seen, Kingdom of the Planet of Apes, and I definitely spelled that wrong. Talk to me about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
So I'm gonna do what you do, and I'm gonna find a synopsis. Kingdom.
There we go.
How do you spell kingdom? I know how to spell.
Okay, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, because I'm like, all right. So let's go to IMDb because they have good synopses.
Yeah.
Is it multiple synopses? I don't know. Many years after the reign of Caesar, I don't know why I said that like that. Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike.
Yep.
Is that what he did? Anyway, so like, did he? But yeah, so no, like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is absolutely fantastic. I love this film. Like this movie did something. This movie does a few things that really sets it apart from a lot of other prequels, or actually not prequels, long after sequels, right? Where it takes the legacy of Caesar and it disseminates it amongst all of these apes 300 years later, where Caesar has now become a religious figure. Caesar has now become a tool for power to wield over other apes and other people. Caesar has become someone whose philosophies have been both twisted and used appropriately. And it's really interesting seeing how the apes are using this, I want to say almost like godlike figure in order to make their like machinations like throughout the film. One of the dopest things about this movie is our main character of Noah. I thought Noah was really great because he is the newest protagonist, but he's not a Caesar clone. He is his own person, right? So as young Noah is going through like his coming of age story in a way where he's just going and he's meeting up with Raka, who was my favorite character in this movie, who is a magical Negro, but that's a whole nother discussion for another day. Like I love the fact that this movie really does a good job of separating itself in terms of the characters that it creates from the old movies, while still feeling like it's a part of that old world. Proxima Caesar is a fantastic villain. I really wish we would have gotten more of him throughout the film. And I was about to say a spoiler, so I'm not going to do that. But hopefully, no, that's also a spoiler. So I will not allude to that in this. But yeah, so hopefully in the future we get more villains like him. Throughout the film. And also I felt like this movie did a really good job at keeping the humans at bay. Right, the main human character in this film is important to the plot, but she's not so important that she kind of becomes the reason for the season, if you will. So I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought the conflict was great, and oh yeah. So my one criticism of this movie was in the third act. It really felt like it got unfocused and was just setting up for the sequel, right? And I felt that throughout, and it was just kind of like, okay, guys, I would have rather you have dealt with this internal conflict between Noah and Proxima Caesar, but they took Proxima Caesar like just completely off the board for a long period of time during the third act, and when he shows up, he's only there for like a couple minutes, right? So it really just kind of felt like they lost focus and wanted to focus on what their next feature installment is, which, yeah. So, but overall, especially the special effects in this movie, I thoroughly enjoyed it and highly recommend it. What did you think about it?
So one thing you made me realize while you were giving your examples and stuff like that, this year we got a great example how to do a proper sequel, Dune Part 2. Take everything that people liked from the first one, kind of remove the stuff that people didn't like, and then just upgrade the things that people like and add more elements that we didn't have before, right?
Yep.
And then we got a great example of how to do a prequel, Furiosa. how great that movie is and how much it enhances the fast film while
Mm-hmm.
also still being a great film on its own with its own story.
Yep.
And then with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, we now know how to do a movie where it's like a legacy sequel, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like how Force Awakens is a continuation of the story of the Star Wars, but it's bringing in brand new characters. Those their legacy is still there. The legacy of this should have been called the legacy of Caesar, basically,
Mm-hmm.
because his legacy is all throughout the film, right? It's
Yeah.
almost at a level of like a prophet
Yep.
in a way.
Yes.
And I think that's part of the messaging of the story, how like we saw Caesar, we know what it was like, we're in real time.
Right. Yeah.
And he is not this perfect prophet that they're fantasizing with. He's kind of just an ape that had a cause. And it kind of a reflection of like real life, like how you mythicize a person and it becomes this godlike thing, and then people twist it to their own concerns, and it happens in real life with religion and things like that. So the movie does that. It doesn't dive like super deep in it, but it didn't have to, because the conflict between the two main characters is there, right? Like we got Noah, who knows nothing about Caesar, right? So he's like a character that's outside of all this conflict that's happening around him, and he starts learning about Caesar from both sides: the guy that's twisting it, and Raka, who's like trying to uphold it, but even uphold to a point that's not even the standards that Caesar can't live up to.
Right.
I really like Freya Allen in this role as the human, May. Like you said, she had a great presence, but she didn't overpower the film, right? Like she was a great addition to the ape story. And I think that like Jurassic Park, Transformers, Godzilla / Monsterverse, they make the humans just take up a lot of time and go away from the monsters or the animals, because I don't want to call the apes monsters. They're not really monsters, they're just animals.
Right. Yeah.
And they do a great job of focusing on the apes and giving them character and making me fall in love with them and their journey. And I'll say, like, visually, this movie is absolutely stunning.
Stunning.
That first 20 minutes where they're just going through those trials, I was just wowed. Like, holy crap, look how realistic this looks. And it got me so invested into that little village. By the time we get to the end of the third act and things start going down, I was like, no, let me just live here in peace and see them go through the tournament arc. I'm treating it like a freaking anime. I want to see him go through his tournament arc. So it felt like when Naruto, or for all the Naruto fans out there, collect the movie, man, you know what I'm talking about because you're in Shippuden already. When they were doing the tuning exams of Naruto and the shit goes down and stops
in the middle of the exams.
Oh my god!
I was like, I want to see the exams in. Why y'all
want to see
Naruto
go? He just did what he did to Neji. I need to see him move on.
You mean they gotta wait to get a promotion? They gotta wait a whole nother year? Yeah. So that I was mad. I was mad for them.
Me too. So like that's how I felt with this. And I think, like you said, Prophet Caesar was a great villain that maybe was a little underutilized. I think I wanted a little bit more of his philosophy and just him in general, because he was funny as well. What a wonderful day! Amazing. Let's give Kevin Durant. That's really close to Kevin Durant. His props. He was in Abigail. He was great in that.
Fantastic.
And he's also in this movie, and he does a phenomenal job as Proxima Caesar.
If you want,
he's been around for a long time.
Watch some of his interviews about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It is so insightful about how he approached that role. He was walking around like an ape on set.
Makes sense. Just get into the character. Owen Teague, who I've never heard of, did a great job with Noah.
Yeah, same.
Peter Macon, you say he was the magical Negro, but he did a great job as Raka.
Did a good job.
Even the two, like his childhood friends who didn't get that much, they were still memorable. They still were memorable enough where I was like, oh, I like them. I want to see them move on. Hopefully they get fleshed out. So I love the movie. Right now it's sitting at my number 6 film of the year. I definitely want to rewatch it soon. I want to pre-order the Steelbook soon. And this is a movie that I think the Planet Apes trilogy is my favorite trilogy. And I think that this just adds on to it in a way that I think is amazing.
Yeah. I got to see what's on my list.
To me, this is IMAX experience. To me,
I would agree.
Okay, is it behind Furiosa to you, or is it ahead?
That's difficult. That's actually really difficult. I would say Furiosa ended well.
Hmm.
Now you were saying that you didn't think Furiosa ended well. Um, I would say that this one's difficult. I would say keep Furiosa where it is, just
Okay.
because when I think about the action sequences like Bullet Town and
Hmm.
the War Rig sequence and everything with the Mentis, like I just feel like Furiosa gave me a little bit more to hold on to. Even though I'm really looking forward to the next two installments of this trilogy for
Yeah,
Planet of the Apes.
I think you're right on the button. I think Dementis is a stronger villain than Proxima Caesar. I
Absolutely.
think that Furiosa had better action sequences.
Hmm.
And when I compare, I think I like Noah more than Furiosa, but
I
Furiosa is
do.
very, very strong.
Yeah, I
Very,
love
very
Noah
strong.
way more than I think Noah's my favorite new character of all the characters that we've gotten this year.
Yeah, I love that character. So that's the one thing that they have over it. Visual
Hmm.
wise, they're like different artistically.
Yeah,
So it's hard to compare them. But sound wise, I think Furiosa also has it over it.
for sure.
That's a movie you'll see in Dolby. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, I think I would keep Furiosa over it. Even, and I think I have Furiosa over Planet Apes in my top
I
10.
do too. I do too. So I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at 9, um,
Nine.
behind Monkey Man, Love Lies Bleeding, and Furiosa.
Such a great list.
Yeah, great.
Um,
It's shaping up to be a really good year for movies.
yeah, man. It's not starting off as strong as last year, but
Yeah,
we still got some good stuff.
it's a steep drop off after my top 10, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Wait, did somebody say something before that? Oh yeah, I forgot he was great as Star Lord. Maybe it's just his role in Jurassic Park. I'm not a fan of. Yeah,
I
I
feel
think
that.
Jurassic Park, wasn't great for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't like any of those Jurassic World movies. Not
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
yeah.
And I
So
saw all three because I was holding out hope.
I was holding out hope. You may want to change about. Oh yeah, thank you for this, Kiara. I ended up changing it. I forgot to change it from last night.
Uh,
Michael 101591. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, Michael?
He said, I love the Kingdom of Planet of Apes.
Same.
Nice. What a wonderful day.
Yeah, that was a
Noah was
great
awesome.
speech.
Yeah, man. It was the perfect way to introduce him.
Yeah.
Flamboyant, epic. You understood what type of character he was right away.
And I don't know about you, but I didn't really know the character's name before going into the movie. When he said his last name was or approximate Caesar, I was like, oh, you are not Caesar, sir. Like I was a little offended. Like you are not Caesar. I don't know.
Oh,
Who you
that's a
think
good
you are.
conversation to have.
Yeah.
When they, the people attacked. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna spoil
Mm-hmm.
who and when and where. When they
Yeah.
said for Caesar, I was so mad
Yo. Yeah.
because Caesar's
Yeah.
number one thing was like apes don't fight apes.
That's right.
So
That
I was
is
like, what are you
100% correct.
talking about? I was
Yeah.
so mad. But then when they introduced him and he's
Mm-hmm.
Proximus, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. That's a
Yeah.
great writing tool because fans of the last trilogy is gonna be pissed. And then when
Right.
you get to this point where we get to see Proximus Caesar, like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. Kingdom of the Planet Apes sounds good. I gotta watch the rest. Yeah, definitely check out the trilogy, man. You won't regret it. It's so good. Rocka was cool. Yeah, I really like him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's
Rock
still
was
alive.
great. Yeah. Hopefully.
Kingdom of the Planet Apes is a great example of someone taking a story and be able to truly build a world off of it. Yep.
I agree.
Heartbeat, you got that down pat. What a wonderful day to be an ape. Facts. I definitely agree with you, Zach. A Planet of Apes over is probably one of my favorite trilogies next to Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and a Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah.
It's a great trilogy.
Great company to be around. Well, Harry Potter's not a trilogy. Isn't it like 9 movies or something like that?
Yeah, it's 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we see a clip with Wolverine wearing his mask. I actually want to wait for the movie for that. I don't want to see it.
At this point, they haven't showed it. Just don't show it. Let me get to the movie to see it because you know what is going to happen. Oh, it's too tight. It's not loose. It's not high enough. It's not dark enough. It's just let's just see it in the movie.
I'm not even there for the complaints. I just want something to surprise me in MCU and DC films. I don't want everything.
Yeah.
I used to go into MCU film and like an epic comic moment would happen, and I would have experienced it in the theater. You
Yeah.
know?
And if anybody was worried about whether or not he'll wear the mask, the popcorn bucket has a mask on.
Yeah.
If they
And all the
don't have him in the
promotional
mask
stuff.
and it's on the popcorn bucket, what the? But I don't think that's going to
Yeah.
happen.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Kingdom of the Planet Apes is my number 2. Nice. It's
Oh,
worthy.
nice. Yeah.
King's Park, you don't like the original Jurassic Park movies? No, he's not
No,
talking about
I
the
do.
original one.
I actually like all 3 of the original Jurassic Park movies. Jurassic World, I don't like at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that either when they yelled Caesar. I was like, hell no. Caesar, you are not Proxim. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Caesar Proximus is not he's not the guy. He's not him.
He's
As
not
the
him.
kids say.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. So this movie, Tarot.
Whew.
After I didn't know how to pronounce this film because I was saying tarot this whole time, not realizing it's actually tarot. Because I never heard the word outside of other people saying call it tarot. The synopsis is: friends unwillingly unleash an unspeakable evil trapped with a cursed deck of tarot cards. One by one, they come to face with fate, race against death to escape the future foretold in their readings.
Mm-hmm.
So this movie came out early in May. We thought it was April because when we were trying to figure out it was May, we were like, what?
Yeah.
This movie came out last month.
That movie came out months ago.
Yeah. But it actually came out the same time as Fall Guy. That's why we didn't realize, because we went to go see Fall Guy instead of this. For me, I had an interesting viewing of this because I avoided this movie. A lot of people said it was trash. I always also was just not interested in it. We had Night Swim, which I liked, Imaginary, which I liked. They're not great movies. They're not well written, but for me, they're the genre horror movies where you get to yell at the screen. Stop it, you stupid. Run around the corner. And for me, that holds value because I watch a lot of elevated horror, and that's the ones you got to pay attention. You stay quiet. You focus on the psychological and all
Late night at the devil.
So for me, just have fun. I'm down with those, right?
Yeah.
And for me, out of the 3 that we've gotten so far, this is the best one to me. I think I like Tarot better than Night Swim. I like Tarot better than Imaginary because I think they utilize their concept because they all have that concept the best. I think Night Swim didn't utilize what they could do with that best. They built out lore and didn't really use it. The characters weren't as fun as the one in Tarot. And then when you talk about Imaginary, the third act for that movie just kind of falls apart. Chauncey is not as scary as he should have been. And then the gimmick of like, oh, only me and the daughter could see it because didn't make any sense because the boyfriend saw Chauncey. So
right.
So with Tarot, I was fully invested in the film. I had one of the best kills out of the 3 here. Me, Kenny, and Kiara from Sub Media Review. She's in the chat. Watched this together. And they heard me scream because the train scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's PG-13, so I'm expecting PG-13 kills.
Yeah,
and that shit happened.
Wow.
I was like, what? Okay. It drops you in the middle of the film. It drops you in the middle of the first act.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what's happening here? How we people breaking up already? I just got to know you guys. But I like the lore. I like the scares. I was invested in the characters. It was to the point was like, these kids probably don't deserve this. I think that the some of the kills were really cool, even though we don't get to see it. It's not as gory. Would this movie have been great if it was R-rated? Hell yes. Because I think some of the kills that they did, if they did it in an R-rated fashion, would have been gnarly as hell.
Yeah.
But as a PG-13, this is a movie that you show your kids to get them into horror movies. I think it's a really, really good time. And I even towards the end, like I really like. I didn't liking it. It's not perfect. There's some cringy dialogue. There's a little bit of logic stuff going on there here and there with one character. But overall, like it's a point at the screen and go, what the hell are you doing? Right. Especially the latter scene. I was like, just run, miss. Just what are you doing?
Why are you investigating?
And that was brutal too. I just gotta say,
yeah, that was brutal.
I really enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, man. So we, like you said, we watched it together, and I had a good time. And I questioned whether or not I had a great time because I was hanging out with y'all watching it, or whether or not if I was watching this by myself, would I have had a good time with this, or would I have been like, "This is not good. But it's not the greatest thing in the world by far. But I had a good time with it, and I thought like just so as some people had mentioned, it really does drop you right in the middle of the story in the beginning of the film, and not in the way where it's like it just drops you into that world, and it's like no, conversations have happened, things have transpired. You're not showing us for some reason.
Yeah.
And it, like you mentioned while we were watching it, it might have been because of the budget, or it might have been because it just didn't work for the rest of the film, and they were just like, cut it, right? So I was off by that, but once they get into the crux of the film, I was having a good time. I was trying to figure out, okay, so how's this person going to die based on their tarot reading? Like, so I was really into it from that point. I I think the one thing that I don't even think I mentioned this while we were watching it. The one thing that really did annoy me was the way the kills were announced. You're a Gemini. That means such and such, and
Okay.
you have. I was like, yeah, this was. I mean, like, just word salad. But I do agree. Like, I did end up having fun during most of this movie because I was watching it with you guys. Doesn't mean it's a good movie. Absolutely not. Like I think the worst of the three movies that you mentioned is probably Imaginary because it's a nothing burger. Nothing happened. um, but Night Swim, I did have a good time with that, even though I rated it way too high. But yeah, but for the most part, like I enjoyed Tarot, but I would recommend it for having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think fun counts for a lot, when you're watching films and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I don't think everything has to be cinema. Not the
Yeah,
best thing. We have some
yeah,
horror movies that came out this year that are really good, that take themselves
yes, we did.
seriously. We talked about Late Night and the Devil. We
Yeah.
talk about a movie that's my highest rated horror movie this year is You'll Never Find Me.
Oh,
That's
okay.
really
I
good.
haven't seen that.
Immaculate is great.
Hmm.
The First
Immaculate is
Omen.
my highest rated horror movie.
Abigail is really, really solid. I know you don't
Abigail's
like
great.
Lisa Frankenstein in stop motion, but I like those films. So yeah, we've had some
Hmm.
good ones. There's probably some I haven't seen. I'm pretty sure there's horror movies I haven't seen. I think Evil Does Not Exist is one that I heard good things about. I think
Yeah,
that is going to be on streaming this Friday, so I definitely want to go check that out.
that's not the one that was just in theaters, was it?
It was in theaters last month,
What
or
movie am I thinking about? I'm thinking about In a Violent Nature. My bad.
no, yeah, no, not that one. I want to see
Yeah,
that, but
same.
they just didn't get a chance.
Yeah,
So in terms of ranking Tarot, that's where the interesting part is. I'm curious to hear what you think it should be.
stream for sure.
I agree. I had a lot of fun with it, but I wouldn't even say don't go to. You don't need to go to the theater to check this out.
No,
Is it better? Well, it's better than If, right?
I think so.
Okay. I can't argue that because I haven't seen If,
Hmm.
but based on what you're saying,
Yeah.
it would go over If because we both had a good time with it. You thought If was awful.
Hmm.
So yeah, definitely enjoyed Tarot. It did really well box office wise, just like all these Blumhouse kind of horror movies did. And I would suggest going to check it out.
Yeah.
The last movie of the movies that we've seen, well, this one is gonna just be I saw it. Of May is it's called New Life. And I'm
Okay.
gonna look this up, read a synopsis. This movie kind of surprised me. I heard good things about it. It released last year, like in a festival, but then got pushed all the way to 2024. And it says Jess is a woman on the run, desperate to cross the Canadian border to escape her past. On her tail is Elsa, a resourceful agent whose recent life-altering diagnosis leaves her one step behind. As their chase narrows to the mountains of Pacific Northwest, holes in Elsa's investigation begin to fill with fresh bodies. So I really, really like that synopsis because it doesn't reveal the big twist of the film.
Hmm.
This movie does something. I was like, whoa, I didn't know this is what I was getting into. Because there's like a central mystery there. They kind of throw you into the movie where like that main girl is just on the run.
Okay.
And I was like, oh shoot, she has blood on her head. You don't know what is going on. They kind of start flashing back a little later to tell you like to fill in the gaps. You
Hmm.
see agents coming after her and things like that, and then you see this agency sending this Elsa person after her, and she, I think she has it's not dementia, it might be Parkinson's. She has. So she's like, I can't really do this because I have Parkinson's, but they're like,
Hmm.
you're our only capable person with this particular situation, this person that we have. So the cat and mouse game, getting to know the characters, the back and forth, and the surprise of the movie. The reason why I don't want to say what it is, because part of the journey of the film is what a film turns into and how it's kind of scary because of what we've gone through in the past couple of years from 2019 moving forward. So
Okay.
I highly recommend renting because it's a movie that you could rent. It was in theaters for like a week or something like that.
Okay.
Renting New Life, checking it out, and giving it a try. The reason why I personally probably wouldn't put it into like a full price or matinee because it is a low budget film, and I feel like it has a bit of a you could feel the budget a little bit, but I still think it's a good time. So
Gotcha.
I would say it's a stream. I would put it probably in front of Tarot, because it's just a better made film. It takes itself more seriously. It's not as cringy and things like that.
Gotcha.
Tarot's probably more fun.
Hmm.
But yeah, I really enjoyed New Life. I highly recommend it. It's something that you can rent real quick, and it's a good time.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I like the poster. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, post
Um,
is really strong.
yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, dope. I'll definitely
Um,
give it a watch.
he said, "Oh yeah,
Especially
okay, you
since
wrote
I'm
that.
trying to hit my 100 movies by the end of the
Yeah,
year mark.
he's like trying to add everything.
Yeah, I gotta start adding some stuff.
Ooh, Perfect Days is gonna be on Hulu this Friday too. Finally.
Perfect Days. Oh, Perfect Days. Yeah, I've been looking to watch that for a minute.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna be
because
on Friday.
that's my type of movie. Slice
Yeah,
of life, just humans being human.
yeah, and that's what that movie is.
Yep,
No way the real Caesar would have allowed that to happen. That's a fact.
correct. Yeah.
I heard the movie was terrible. I was actually a little bit interested in seeing it because it's the guy from Spider-Man in it. The newer one's his friend. Yeah. What's his name? Jacob Bakaton or something like that. I think that's what his name.
Madeline. Yeah,
Madeline.
yeah.
He was good in the film. He was a good
He
comedic
was
relief.
good. His character was. Yep.
The guy thought he could call himself Caesar. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I had a good time with it. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. We
I
had a
need a
lot of fun.
reminder of the readings in tarot. Yeah, when you said that he's like you didn't like the thing, I felt like throughout the film, the entity was playing with them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of like playing around with them, and I think reading back their tarot reading was kind of part of that because it's
Yeah.
like, how did you get yourself in this situation? She warned you. I felt like that's why he read it back to them.
Yeah. True. True. True.
Zach and Kenny Sparks. I did a poll. Who's the best Superman? Also, I did a poll on who's the strongest Jedi with the Force. I put Yoda on there, Obi-Wan, Windu, and Qui-Gon Jinn. In terms of Superman, if you didn't put Tyler Heckler on there, then I can't answer that question because I think he's the best actor to play Superman so far. I can't answer the Jedi Force thing because I have no idea.
I would say personally, Christopher Reeve. I know that
Okay.
he's like the classic choice, and blah, blah, but I actually really do believe that he is the best representation of Superman that we got on film. Although this is a very different take, very different universe. I thought Henry Cavill was great as well, and when he was allowed to be great, I'll say that much. And I would say Yoda for sure is strongest with the Force.
Strongest Force user.
Yeah, I would
Easily.
definitely say Yoda. Yep.
A dangerous mix. If was lacking, but might be good if you're taking the fam to see something. First of all, welcome to the live stream of Dangerous Mix. Haven't
Welcome.
seen you before in the live stream. Appreciate you being here, and you saw it. So, do you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something that our friend Have You Seen What T said as well. That I think that his kids had a lot of fun with it, and he had a lot of fun because his kids had fun. So
Yeah, and is it Heartbeats at the movies have the minis?
yeah. Oh yeah.
They got the minis, so they
Or that
they
might have
kids
been
probably love it.
Heartbeat. It might have been Heartbeat actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they have their kids come into the reviews and call them the minis. It's so cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
Remember in the good days, they would release one movie, and if it was great, they would announce a sequel. Did that happen all the time? I feel like back in the day, we didn't get announcements.
Back in it. See, this is what I do like about back in the day. A lot of times you wouldn't find out a movie was coming out until you went to the theater and saw the preview.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Bad Boys 2 is coming out? Like, yeah, no idea. So
you had to go see another movie, and you either saw the poster or the trailer will come out.
Right. Like the only time I remember going to the theater, I don't remember myself doing that. The only time I remember people going to the theater for a trailer went for Star Wars Episode 1. Like
Mm,
people went to the theater to see the trailer.
that's amazing. Now I have
Yeah.
never happens now because the trailers just get put on YouTube, so you can just
Yep.
watch it there.
Yeah.
And he said Reeves is goated.
Accurate.
Definitely. So now we're going to be starting a new segment here
Mhm.
where we talk about movies that we saw in May that didn't come out in May necessarily.
Mhm.
Hold on. All the background stuff got to type, and boom, KDZ movies.
It's us.
That's us, and we're going to start with Kenny's films. Is this your films? Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
the KDZ movies block it, so I gotta take it down. Okay. Talk to us about each film and why
Ooh, I like the
you rated it.
transparency.
Yeah, why you rated it that way and what's going on there.
All right, so I saw like quite a few movies outside of 2024 movies this year. I will say real quick, I'll just go down the list. They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. It's a sequel to Jesus Christ of Nazareth. What is the sequel to? In the Heat of the Night, starring Sidney Poitier. In the Heat of the Night is amazing. They Call Me Mr. Tibbs is awful. Awful. That movie is terrible. And one of the reasons why it's terrible is because they're very cool, dope, intelligent, sophisticated black lead that they create in the Heat of the Night. They completely tear down and dismantle, and They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. He also
Is
doesn't
it a
say
sequel?
it is a sequel. Yep, it's a direct sequel to the first one. And it's like he comes home or we go to his home or whatever after In the Heat of the Night, and it's just like one thing after another. Like this dude is one of the worst fathers and husbands I've ever seen. It is
Damn.
absolutely awful. So yeah, that was not a great experience, and it was freaking long too. Um, Alien 3, there's some fun to be had, but they went from CGI to no, they went from practical effects for the alien to CGI, and let me tell you, that CGI is god awful. Like the CGI in that movie, like the alien looks like it's in a different like plane of existence from everything else in the film. Also, from Alien 2 or Aliens rather, they open up Alien 3, killing off some key characters with no like they give an explanation, but these are characters that you would not want to be removed, and they're just removed from the board. I don't know if the contracts were given up or whatever, but it just didn't make any sense. And all that heart at the end of the second movie, you lose in the first 10 minutes of the next movie, and then the rest of the movie is just awful. And I know it's like super old, so I'll just say like it takes place on a penal colony, a prison, and they start like turning sexual assaulters and people of that nature into the heroes of the film, and it's like, what are you doing? So yeah, Mad Max Fury Road was freaking amazing. I actually had it rated at 4 stars from when I saw it all those years ago, and I gave it another half star because it's that damn good. That movie is so damn good. I'm so glad I watched it again. Bad Boys 2, fantastic. My favorite Bad Boys movie thus far. Johnny Tapia is a great villain. Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry are back. It's awesome. It has one of the greatest action scenes in terms of like car chase / action scenes ever. And then has one of my favorite lines in cinematic history, which is "The devil is not welcome here." Like when they start fighting against the Haitian dope pound folks. Bad Boys, also great. Love that movie. It's one of the few movies that feels like it should have been the sequel, but it's actually the first movie, because it's very rare that when you first watch a movie, people have this much chemistry. Number one, and number two, they literally switch places in the movie. Like Marcus takes over Mike's life, and Mike starts taking over Marcus's life, and it's like, oh, you're Marcus Burnett. Like he starts taking it in the hostage, right? And they basically have to switch places throughout the film. That type of stuff usually isn't done into the sequel, so it's really interesting the way the movie was written, and I love that movie. All Dirt Road's Taste of Salt was, in my personal opinion, a little disappointing. I do think that the film has a lot to offer, but it would have worked better as a miniseries rather than a full length feature film. Because what the film does is it's focused on human connection and the story of one black woman in Mississippi from her birth to the birth of her like grandchildren, right? So it's one person's life, but it jumps back and forth and stuff like that. But the way it's directed, it's focused so much on human connection. I'm talking about literal like holding hands, right? A conversation will be being had, and it's just showing two hands being held for like 4 or 5 minutes, right?
Ooh.
So literally, or two people are standing in the rain and looking at each other, not saying a word, and then they'll say a word after like 4 or 5 minutes. So it just feels more like it should have been like a bunch of shorts instead of just a feature length movie. Because I literally started cleaning my living room while that movie was on. Like I had the movie on in the background, looked over, are they doing anything? Okay, cool. I just kept sweeping, right? So yeah. And finally, Seven. Seven I watched with my guy Toby. Seven is phenomenal. It's one of David Fincher's best movies. Funnily enough, a terrible movie that David Fincher did direct was Alien 3. So which I did not expect. Like when his name came up in the crowd, I was like, he directed this? He directed this? So yeah, Seven is amazing, starring I think it's Brad Pitt. Yeah, Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and I can't give away that because it's a spoiler. Even though the movie's over almost 20 years old. But yeah, the movie is phenomenal. It's not for the faint of heart. I don't recommend it to people who are squeamish at all. Essentially, the movie's about the 7 deadly sins and the serial killer who is killing people in the way in his interpretation of the 7 deadly sins, right? So it's wild, but it's a great film. So yeah, that's everything else I've watched in May.
All right. Great list. I was gonna say what was your favorite, but obviously you can see it's Mad Max.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, no, actually, I would say my favorite. No, yeah, you're right. This is Mad Max.
So here's my list.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I was thinking Bad Boys 2, but Mad Max is probably it. Yeah.
For some reason, I couldn't get my list to stretch out like yours. Mine didn't want to be as cool. But my May was filled with catching up on movies that I missed in April, and obviously watching Mad Max Fury Road. So Boy Kills World. I saw that movie recently, finally came to be able to rent, and I had a good time with the film. It's not perfect. It's not amazing or anything like that. I think Bill Skarsgård was really great in his role as a silent assassin protagonist out for revenge. They built this really kooky, crazy world that all the actors got to play in and act cringy and insane in. I just think that they could have spent more time on the story a little bit in terms of why the world was the way it was, why they have to have the culling, which kind of felt like the Hunger Games. And there were like logical moments in the movie where people were just standing around when they shouldn't be. Or someone should have died easily, but they didn't die because of the sake of the plot moving forward. That bothered me throughout the film. I do think that the third act fight scene is amazing and emotional and hardcore, and the choreograph is amazing. So it kind of saved the film for me. And the fighting throughout the film is actually really, really strong. Throughout the film, it was really, really good. They had so many fun characters in here, like the one with the girl with the helmet. She was really cool. His two people that was with him all time, I think Basho, and I've got the other guy name who was speaking a different language, so he couldn't read his lips. That whole segment was really, really funny. The movie is funny, it's fun, it's action packed. I just think the story needed to be fleshed out a little bit more, and they spend more time on that and slow down. I think the beginning of the film felt a lot of like montagey, so it kind of had me disconnected from the characters for a long time. And I think that was the time they needed to slow down and focus on us getting us connected to everything, and then speed up a little bit later on. But it was just going so fast, and then it slowed down a little bit in the middle, and then never kind of really picked up because it took itself really serious in the third act. So the tones and the pacing of the movie kind of made it where it kind of missed just being great, but I still think it's worth checking out. I had a good time with it. Mad Max Fury Road is one of the greatest action movies of all time. One of the greatest action movies I've ever seen. I saw it one time and I was like, I looked at my favorite movies all time list and I was like, oh, there you go, number 48. Boom.
Mhm.
It's a movie I can see myself watching over. I love the characters. I love Charlize Theron as Furiosa. I love the maid wives. It's cool that I saw it now because a lot of these actors that are in this are like now doing other stuff. So
Yep.
seeing Zoe Kravitz, seeing Ryan Kuogo, who's also in another movie on this list, seeing the girl that was in Transformers who replaced Megan Fox, forgot what her name was. I think there was another girl. I think was it four of them? I think it was either four or the three of them. But
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
all the actresses in there and other stuff, and I'm fans of them. Tom Hardy was fantastic as Max. I think he was a really good replacement for Mel Gibson. The villain was very interesting. Even though what he was doing was terrible, I understood why he was doing what he was doing in that terrible situation, right?
Yep.
Like, it made sense why he would drive himself to that because of the wasteland and how people are coming out as mutants, him trying to create a human and things like that. So, another villain that was great that had understandable reasoning, even though he was doing a really bad thing. So,
Mhm.
the action sequences are insane. The cinematography is top notch. The music is amazing. It's just I can't praise it enough. And
Yeah.
a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's just a road trip run. They go one place and then come back." There's so much that happens in between that road trip that is said, that's not said, that tells so much story. It's just the movie
Yeah.
is not telling you. It's not a lot of dialogue in the film. You got to watch the physicality. You got to watch the acting. There's an art to what he's doing here in this film. George Miller did a great job.
Mhm.
And this is actually my second George Miller film. I didn't know he did Happy Feet, and I love Happy Feet.
Oh yeah, which is so weird. I did not
So
think
weird.
that. Yeah.
He did an interview recently. I need to find the link so I can send it to you. Somebody was like, it's crazy. I don't know if I'm the first person to say this to you. The interview said it's George Miller. I realized like Happy Feet and Fury Road are very similar. And they were like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's about the hero's journey. It's about surviving in a wasteland, whether it's snow, ice, or a desert. And all these other themes are in there that are very similar. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's crazy. It's
That
just
is
one
crazy.
tone is very happy and the other tone is very depressing. It's
Yeah.
just the tone that makes them different. I was like, that's
That's
interesting.
interesting.
The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway. Really enjoyed this film. I love rom-coms. It's sexy. It's introspective in certain things. It's a dynamic we don't really see a lot of older women with a younger man, but of age. It's not like some weird obsession with my teacher thing that they be doing sometimes.
Mhm.
It is based off a Harry Styles fanfic, which is really hilarious.
Okay.
But the music is good. The acting is solid. Anne Hathaway is Anne Hathaway. And it introduced me to this guy that got cast as He-Man. And I think he did a really good job
Oh.
in the movie. Yeah, he
Okay.
did. This is the first time I'm seeing him. And he can sing, he can dance, he can be physical. And the only drawback for this film is that I think that it focused too much on the sex and not enough on the conversation of like I'm younger, you're older, and what's the effect, not the effect of that, but the effects of that. The younger person is famous. So now this older person is not only just like a cougar amongst her friends, it's like paparazzi and people
Wow.
coming at her. They touch
Okay.
on it, but they could have went deeper on certain things.
Yeah.
But I still had a good time. The Beekeeper, a movie I know that Kenny Sparks absolutely hate. I had a good time with it. I think the action was really, really strong. I was really invested in Jason Statham's revenge tour because of what they did to the old lady. Well, she's not, I don't want to call Felicia Rashad an old lady, but older lady. And I think it was brutal. I think it was quirky. They had like some really quirky moments. And I think the movie balances quirky moments with serious moments. Well, I guess even though I like Boy Kills World more, I think it balances tone better than Boy Kills World did.
Mhm.
The movie has some nonsensical stuff in it throughout, but I understood what kind of action film it was, and I kind of enjoyed it. The Ministry of Ungentle Warfare was disappointing, but I still enjoyed it. The way the trailer made it out to be, I thought it was going to be what I wanted Glorious Bastards to be, where it focused on the war people the whole time. That movie kind of flipped back and forth between the war people and the young girl, which I ended up liking and I appreciated. But I was like, oh, we're gonna finally get Inglourious Basterds, where it's just the war people. But the movie is not Inglourious Basterds at all. It's not as fun as the trailer said it was gonna be. It's very boring in the middle of the film. It just slows down. I think the beginning starts off strong. It gets really boring, and then the ending is okay. It's not even super strong. It's okay.
That was a movie I fell asleep on because it was boring.
Yeah, going to what we throw our lines for saying. I was sitting there watching it. I rented it on my phone, watching it on my bed, and I was like, Jesus Christ. When they were traveling and all that stuff, I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I was like, this feels like filler. I don't understand why this is happening.
Yeah.
But I think all the actors came to play. I think they all had really interesting characters. Yes, people were underutilized. I think that Henry Golden was very underutilized. I think that I forgot what the black guy name is. He was also in the Book of Clarence. He was great. He was underutilized. It was a matter of, I think, like a lot of people were underutilized because they were focusing on the wrong things. But it's still a good time. It has some good action. One of my most anticipated films for May, well, actually for April, but I didn't get to see, was Sasquatch Sunset. Once I saw the trailer, I was like, I'm in it. I want to see it. And I heard very mixed reviews coming out from people who have saw it in April. If I didn't get to see it in theaters, I finally got to see it at home. I wish I got to see it in theaters because that would have been a weird experience to see people walk out, because I feel like people would have walked out watching the movie because it's gross, it's nasty, but it's fun, it's weird, and it has that human experience thing that me and Kenny likes, even though the Sasquatches aren't human. And it has a subtle messaging, but how humans affect rare species of animals. And how they have to adapt to that, and how not only are we taking over their land and taking over their space and driving to the extension, but then we also use them to sell stuff. That's all I'm going to say in terms of that. All that stuff is not in your face. It's just there. You might miss it if you're not really paying attention, but I really end up loving the film. I know a friend of the channel and my beloved YouTube friend, Toby, Dark Movies, hated this movie. He said it was one of the most boring movies he's ever seen. And I feel like this is the Skinamarink of 2024, where like a lot of people either love Skinamarink or a lot of people hate Skinamarink. I never seen somebody say it was just okay.
Yeah.
So I think Sasquatch Sunset has a similar vibe, where I feel like people are either going to love it or they're going to hate it. So those are all the movies.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Yeah.
That's all the movies I've seen in May that didn't come out in May.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we saw some really good movies, man. Some really questionable ones too. But yeah, I do like us like just talking about the other things that we saw during the month. Interestingly enough, I was looking up Sasquatch Sunset to see if it was available anywhere. It is available for rent. But I'm looking at like Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 71% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 31% from the audience, which is really strange. I don't think I've seen that too much. Although also Atlas has 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is insane.
19% what audience?
No, critic rating.
Oh, I'm not shocked.
48% audience rating, but still bad. So yeah. So that man, I'm happy we got to see what each other's lists are going to be. I'm going to be watching Bad Boys 3 sometime this week because I want to see it before I see Bad Boys 4, because I just remember that some story arcs from that are going into Bad Boys 4 start in Bad Boys 3. But other than that, man, awesome list. Yeah.
Had a good time. I also want to see Bad Boys 3 this week because I'd never seen it. So I need to watch it. So I might watch it Thursday and then see Bad Boys 4 on Friday.
Gotcha.
Are you gonna like watch it? I'm
gonna watch it. I was thinking about
watching along.
Oh, by the way, another thing I have available for us to watch is what was it? What was it? It is You Can't Run Forever with our guy.
We gotta watch.
Yeah, I have that available. So if you want to check it out, we can check it out because I'm excited to watch that with you.
Yeah, me too. Especially after Damage.
Yep.
If you guys didn't see our last last
Mm.
week's episode last month episode when we did this of K to Z
Mhm.
movies. There was a Samuel Jackson movie called Damage. That was so bad but so good at the same
So
time.
bad. Yeah, it was a lot of fun until it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a I was gonna say sequel, but the same people are making another movie with what's his name? J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited to check that out and see how batshit crazy. Because the trailer was batshit crazy, so I imagine the
Yeah,
movie
the trailer's
will be
insane.
batshit crazy.
Yep.
So let's see what the rest of the chat has to say. Then we'll talk about how we feel overall so far for 2024, and then we'll wrap it up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you for the shout out for the minis. They get so excited for the screenings. I'm really happy about that.
That's
Their
awesome.
current kid rank is Kung Fu Panda 4, nice. Garfield and If. That's strong.
Nice. Kung Fu Panda 4 is fun-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anyone watch the TV show Collector's Call? I never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let me know what that is in the group chat. 80s kid.
Mm-hmm.
7 is a really good movie. I can't wait to get the 4K. I have the UK box set edition on pre-order, but it's been postponed until next year. Damn.
Next year. Wow.
That's
Sorry
crazy.
to hear that, man.
I really enjoyed the first Bad Boys. I think the second one is my favorite. It's been a while since I've seen them. Yeah, Bad Boys is
second one's my favorite.
Great franchise.
Yeah.
Bad Boys easily one of the most rewatched movies in our household. Nice.
It's great. Yeah.
So good. Great stream, everyone. Good night. Thank you for being in the stream the whole
Have a good
time,
night,
these kids. Appreciate you. What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's
Classic.
up, Dragon Movie? I haven't seen 7 yet. I need to go check that out.
Oh, yeah. I think you would love 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Popping out to eat dinner. Great stream. You have a good night. Thank you, Carol. As always, appreciate you.
100%.
The first movie I watched they made was Ferrari. Oh, from last year. Mission Impossible 3, 4. Good stuff. Fall Guy, Star Wars Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 2, and Star Wars Episode 3. Did you see those in the theaters? Because then they re-released those in the theaters.
I feel like they did. And I also feel like they just re-released all the Spider-Man movies, too.
Yes.
They've been doing a lot of good re-releases this year.
Yeah. I think it's because of the anniversaries, too. I think that's a good idea.
Yep.
He saw more. He saw Star Wars New Hope, Mission Impossible 6, Rise of the Planet Apes, Dawn, the trilogy, and The Last Voyage of Demeter. How did you feel about Last Voyage of Demeter? I think the movie got a lot of hate.
I still need to see that.
Yeah. We might do a watch along of that. That was a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Love the variety of your list. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Thanks,
that.
bro.
That's like my mantra, if you don't know, is variety is the spice of life. That's what gets me excited.
100%.
Doing different things, watching different things. I love meeting different kinds of people, learning about different experiences. That's my mantra. Definitely gonna get a tattoo of that eventually.
Yeah, I posted my Letterboxd last 4 on Threads, and someone was like, "Oh, really eclectic," because it was like my last 4 were Turtles All the Way Down, Tarot, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs, and Alien 3. I was like, these movies could not be more different.
Yeah, I have Sasquatch Sunset. That's a tongue twister. Sasquatch Sunset, Boy Kills World, Tarot, and Furiosa. So I would say Boy Kills World, Furiosa are the closest together, but they're very different action films.
Very different. Yep.
And yeah, Sasquatch Sunset is not like anything else on this list, and Tarot is very different as well. So yeah, I think we both have very eclectic lists.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got more collected movies. Movies he's seen way more than we have. Ocean's 11, 12, Kingdom Planet Apes, Ocean's 13, The Departed, which I've heard good things about. I haven't seen.
Part is really good.
Beekeeper, an American Fiction.
American Fiction is great.
A great film. Salutations. What's up, T?
Hey, what's up, T?
And then the TV shows he saw was Shogun, Andor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Nice.
I need to watch Shogun. I heard so much good things.
I watched the first episode. I need to return to it. It is surreal. The first episode was great.
Yeah, so Kenny, let us know how you feel about 2024 overall, and how did you feel about your May 2024?
So 2024, I'm going to look at my Letterboxd real quick because it's kind of, I don't want to call this year disappointing, but it feels disappointing.
It feels different.
Just because, like, so in the beginning, I feel like I compared a lot to 2023 and how that started with John Wick 4 and Creed 3 and Spider-Verse and Guardians, and it was just so good throughout the beginning of the year that, like, my top 10 so far are Dune at 1, Challengers, Origin, Society of the Snow, actually. Turtles All the Way Down, Furiosa, Love Lies Bleeding, Monkey Man, Planet of the Apes, and Immaculate, which I might move Late Night with the Devil up a little bit to go there. But like those movies are all great, right? But after that, it kind of just goes to Good Grief, Fall Guy, Roadhouse, Damsel, and Mean Girls, which are also movies I really enjoyed, but they're a huge step down from that top 10. And I really feel like I remember at the end of the year looking at my top like 15 to 20 and being like, these are some difficult choices. So far, I know we're only halfway through the year. It's just not as good. It feels like it's not as strong. And I feel like one of the things is the blockbuster. Like the blockbuster, we're not that we haven't had them, but I feel like we're feeling the effects of Marvel and DC and the rest of them just not being here. So far this year is okay. Yeah, exactly. And not the pandemic, but the strike. I feel like the strike pushed a lot of stuff back. So I feel like overall, there's been some really strong movies, but it's been an okay year.
I can definitely see that. There's a lot of movies that I ended up loving so far that I've watched, but when you get outside of my top 10, the oh my god of it starts. Even in my top 10, the oh my god is kind of like, like number 10 is Civil War. I know you don't like that film, but I love it. But it's not a movie that I'm like, yo, you gotta go see Civil War, because it's very divisive. It's a very different kind of film. It's like an expensive art house film. I love Love's Live Bleeding. That's not a movie that I can recommend to everybody.
Right.
Sometimes I Think About Dying. It's a great film, but it's so small and it's hard because it's quirky and weird. Challengers is another movie that I really love. Also, kind of artsy. It's like a lot of artsy films are winning, because even like I would say Furiosa is an artsy action blockbuster.
I would say so.
So is Monkey Man. Hundreds of Beavers is a film that's not very really available to a lot of people, so a lot of people haven't seen it.
Watch that.
It's so weird. So that's another thing. It's not I can recommend it to. I gotta know your taste in film to recommend it to you.
Yeah.
And then Turtles All the Way Down is very, very specific to me in terms of what I like. So I can see some people watching this and it's like, oh, this is a good 3 out of 5 movie.
Yeah, I could definitely see people rating it 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So but Doom Part 2 is so strong for me. I love Monkey Man. I love almost all the films that from my first 23 films on the list of 50 I love. So I think that's strong enough, but there's just not a lot of so overall for 2024, it is a weaker year than last year. Because I feel like from April to September, it was banger. It was just insane. Too many movies were coming out at time. They were eating into each other and all that stuff. Elemental and Flash came out at the same time. Think about that. Like a DC and a Pixar. That's insane. We're not really getting that. We got Furiosa and Garfield. It's not the same level.
No.
Even though Furiosa is probably better than Flash, but I don't think Garfield is better than Elemental. So,
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Garfield, but
yeah, I'm just assuming.
Be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. Very, very surprised. Still really great here. Overall, I still think I'm having a good time. It's just not as strong as last year. Last year, I said this multiple times, is an all-timer to me.
Last year was amazing.
Amazing, from indie to middle movie to we got what's the heck is that, what's the robot movie, the android synthoid,
the creator,
a mid-tier budget movie that was amazing, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But so far 2024 is strong. If you're watching this afterwards, let us know how you feel about 2024 and how you feel about May overall, what you got to see. Oh, and Heartbeat said that's perfect to say. We also had Barbenheimer.
That's correct.
That was huge.
That was a huge. People are excited to go to the movies for it. People dressed up.
Yeah, we don't have a dress up movie. Maybe Deadpool, Wolverine, but I don't really see people dress up as Deadpool.
I feel
to go see
like
that
people will
movie.
have, yeah, they will dress up as Deadpool. I feel like it'll mostly be like t-shirts, like graphic tees and stuff like
T-shirts.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we haven't had a dress up, a cultural moment.
Hmm.
I think Dune almost got there, but it didn't hit the
I was going to
cuff.
say the biggest cultural moment has been the popcorn buckets. I think that's been the most
Yeah,
excited we've been about the
about
movies,
movie
really.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, to the
yeah.
point where now I think I'll say that this year will be, in terms of like movie merch, might be a little
It might
revolutionary.
be an all timer, but we
And
still have time. I'm looking at my
yeah,
2023 list, and I won't go through it all, but just to remind people, Iron Claw, Holdovers, Godzilla minus one, and I think American Fiction all
yeah,
dropped in December of
yeah. Color
last year.
Purple.
So Color Purple, like all that stuff dropped in the last month of the year, and everything I just named is in my top 10. Like Past Lives as well. So, like I know you don't like Past Lives as much, but all that stuff dropped in December. Wonka, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And end of the
dropped real
year
late.
as well.
Yup,
Poor Things. These
dropped
are
real
all
late.
at the end of the year, so we have 6 more months to get some really great films out. And not to mention, most of these movies I did not hear about until like right before December. I had no idea Godzilla minus one was coming out until I want to say actually I knew that like mid-year because they put out a trailer for it. But the holdovers and the Iron Claw I had never heard of before. Same thing with American Fiction, like right before I saw it. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's definitely time.
there's gonna be a lot of indie films that we didn't know about. Like we have
Hmm.
this month that's coming out is gonna be very, very strong. In June,
Yeah.
we have like Kinds of Kindness. We have all these other films. There's like 2 films every weekend that I want to go see. So
Hmm.
things might start picking up
I
going into the
wonder
summer.
how the 4 television shows that are coming out impacts the
Mm,
theater.
I think it might be big because these are 4 big shows.
Big shows. Yeah.
Yeah. So and even though it depends on, they don't drop on Friday, so the movie should be fine.
Hmm.
The only one that's a worry is The Bear because that drops all its episodes once. So
Does
people
it?
may, yeah, it's not weekly.
Oh, I'm bitching that. I'm bitching that big time.
He's like, oh, I'm bitching on it.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, so that's gonna be very, very interesting to see how that goes. But
Hmm.
guys, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna see the last couple people who talked in the live stream, and then we're gonna send you guys home.
Yep.
Let's see. Awesome stream, guys. Appreciate that a lot.
Thank you.
I just have a quick question for you guys. What movies are you planning to see in June in theaters, and what movies will you wait for streaming? I think we could do that real quick. I
Yeah,
gotta find the list.
I'll
June.
say Bad Boys, Kinds of
Hmm.
Kindness,
Hmm.
uh, uh, Quiet Place Day One.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see that. And I swear there's one more
I
that
want to see
can't.
Watchers
Okay,
in
yeah, Watchers
theaters.
is one for sure.
Um,
Um,
let me see.
Inside Out too. I'm definitely going to go
Inside
see
Out
Inside Out.
2.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
I
those are
want to
definitely
see
going to go
that.
see.
Definitely bad. Yeah, you said Bad Boys. I would. Oh, well, Hitman's on Netflix. That's another
Hmm.
movie. Oh,
Yeah,
Robot Dreams, which got nominated for an
yeah,
Oscar last year, is officially coming out this year.
yeah. I'm interested in that. Yep.
Handling of the Undead is a movie that I really want to see. It's from Neon. It's a
Oh yeah,
zombie film. I definitely want to go check that out.
yeah. It's a very
Um,
different kind of zombie film, so I'm looking forward to
yeah,
that.
it's different, very different kind of zombie film. Inside Out too, like you said, Watchers are both coming out the same Tuesday with Julie Louis Dreyfus, which
Hmm.
is A24 film, which is kind of like The Boy and the Heron, but live action.
Oh yeah,
But hopefully not
yeah.
as boring. That's
Hmm.
also coming
Hmm.
out.
Yeah.
And Bike Riders, I almost forgot about that. That's finally coming out.
Okay.
And that's coming out the same day as Kinds of Kindness and Exorcism, another Exorcist movie with Russell Crowe, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's right. Which they're not connected apparently, which is
No, he made that
insane.
film before he did the Pope Exorcist, but it took so long for it to come out.
What is that? But yeah.
But yeah.
Whoops. My bad.
Yeah. Is Longlegs coming out? I know. I think Longlegs is next. Is when's Sing Sing coming out? I think that's next
That's
month.
June, I think.
That's June. Okay, so that too. Yeah. So there's a couple good movies. Honestly, I'm probably gonna have to wait for streaming for some of them, but I'm going to try and see all those movies in theaters.
Yeah. I'm going to try to hit 60 movies by the end of June. I'm at 44 currently.
I'm at 50, so I have to do 10 more. I probably can with streaming and movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenges are my number 3. Nice. If I show up to the movies, someone is fully dressed as Deadpool, I'm leaving. I think people will get kicked out of Deadpool because of their Wolverine costume. Oh, that's true. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No claws. Unless
No
they're like
claws.
cardboard.
Yeah, if they're plastic, maybe. Love these lists. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I still need to see the creator. I bought a shirt for Deadpool Wolverine. It has Deadpool on it. Nice. I just got a chance to see Godzilla -1. So good. You know what's interesting about that? So I'm looking for the discourse for it now that it's on Netflix. There's a lot of people saying this movie is overhyped.
Really?
And yeah, a lot of people are just like, "Yo, this is not as good as the American versions." I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Excuse me?
They were like, "You're trying to get me care about the humans," and I was like, "I'm not. That's not what I'm here for." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Interesting. Well, I will say this. Well, I think that's part of it. People have that preference because I don't want to dismiss that because that is legit. But at the same time, if you're at home with the kids running around, with the dog running around, with your phone out, it's just not going to hit as much as you being stuck in the theater watching these human characters and then Godzilla showing up to F stuff up. Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand the concept of stuff because some people were like, "Oh, what's -1 mean?" And like a lot of people, and also people are watching like the dub. Do not watch this movie in dub,
dude.
Please.
Oh, that is a mistake.
Please watch the sub.
Yeah.
He said, "I have a lot of flicks to catch up on." Yes, you do. I started watching Godzilla -1 on my flight today, and so far so good. I got about 40 minutes left.
Nice. Can't wait to hear what you think of it.
Still need to watch Iron Claw. Saw it on the list on HBO Max. Yep, it's on HBO Max. That's where all A24 is now.
That's awesome.
Have a good night, man.
Hey, have a good night, y'all.
House of Dragon drops on Sunday night at 9:00. Oh yeah, it's going to be on a Sunday. It should be fine.
This Sunday?
I think next week Sunday. Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching the finals. So
Tuesday looks really depressing and sad. Bring the tissue. Yeah, it does.
100%.
Tuesday looks really sad.
Yeah.
I have a total of 7 movies I want to see for June. That's a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. And end it off. Let's start the poll. Favorite May 2024 film. I put Kingdom of Planet Apes, Fall Guy, Furiosa, and If. And Kingdom of Planet Apes and Fall Guy got tied at 33%. Furiosa and If got tied in second place at 16%. Very interesting.
Nice.
Kenny, talk about what you have planned for your personal channel. Shout your stuff out.
Cool. So yeah, my name is Kenny Sparks, and my YouTube channel is the Kenny Sparks YouTube channel, or just Kenny Sparks rather. I will be reviewing all the movies I just mentioned, which is Bad Boys, Inside Out 2, A Quiet Place, and Kinds of Kindness for sure. Cannot wait to talk about that movie. And also, I'll be doing a Meet the Movie Tubers, which I have coming out this month with TJ Billups. Looking forward to that. And yeah, I think other than that, I'm going to be continuing my live streams, potentially moving to Mondays and Fridays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, so thank you so much for having me on, Zach. And I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, man. You know me. I'm Zach, host of Zach Attack Reviews. Definitely will be doing Bad Boys this week. I'm going to be doing Zach Attack News Live this Tuesday. If for whatever reason there's not a lot of news out, it will be a 1,000 sub celebration instead. So be on the lookout for that. I also have a what's that thing I just did yesterday? Movies that made you. Gonna be planning with Michael 101591.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be interesting to do. He already sent me his list, and then I'm also going to be doing one with Collector Movie Man. Who also
cool.
Be on the lookout for those. Those are going to be very, very interesting. And I'm going to be trying to set up some watch-alongs for my channel members and for just everyone at the same time as well. And I also didn't shout out my channel members like I normally do. Boom! Kenny Sparks, who's on this right here. That's him right there. Screens and Reviews, The Net, Iron24P, which is Brandon, Collector Movie Man, Have You Seen With T, Basic Moves, Spoiler Kings, and now 80s Kids from the 90s. Just got gifted. That's awesome. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm going to see you guys next time. Peace.